Not a good night for the San Antonio Spurs. They lose to the OKC Thunder last night. Wemby was held to a career-low 6 points in the loss, but they're right back in action in Utah tonight. They will tip at 8 o'clock. Thursday Night Football tonight, C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans in New York to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. You can catch that game on San Antonio Sports Star right here beginning at 6:30.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Neither of us dressed up today for Halloween.
No, well, I'm a golfer.
Really?
The PGA type, not the live guy.
Oh, really? You
Yeah.
look like a live type.
No,
No,
really.
you're wearing shorts to work. You must be a live type.
Well, I can do that.
What?
I'm not a live guy.
You just started off. You just said you're a live type.
I said I'm a PGA type,
No,
not a live type.
PGA
you
guys,
mentioned the live.
Well, PGA guys can't wear shorts to work.
Well, if they do a
live types-
radio show, they can.
Well, not if you're dressed up as a golfer today. You're a PGA type. You got to be put on some pants, man.
Nobody can see the what I've got on.
Dude, we have no
Below the
idea.
waist.
Yesterday, nobody could see there either, and then all of a sudden, you're laid out on the table like an Instagram model showing off your feet.
Look good, too.
Not really.
Damn, really good.
Not really.
Wow.
The fact that both of our daughters commented on that with the throwing up emojis.
Well, did yours have the throwing up emoji?
I think she might have.
I don't think she did.
She also
She's too
says
nice for that.
it was atrocious,
Atrocious.
which I thought was pretty clever of her. Come on, Joe, that's atrocious.
Atrocious.
Yes.
Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah. You know what else was atrocious last night? The freaking Spurs.
Ooh.
Ugly, ugly, ugly game for the San Antonio Spurs. And we'll get into it quite a bit. Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys will join us any minute. He's got to go early, probably has to get home and get the candy ready to pass out to the trick-or-treaters. So he asked if he could go early. So Stephen Jones at any moment right now. And I saw a tweet earlier today from Jeff McDonald saying, 1-3 at this point, it's too early to panic. And almost like I feel like with the Dallas Cowboys, I'm not surprised at the record. We talked all offseason. The Cowboys could be 500 at the bye. But it's how they are getting there that's alarming. How the Cowboys have lost their games is alarming. Not surprised that they lost, but it's how. Watching the Spurs, not surprised that they've lost to Dallas and Oklahoma City, but it's how. And last night was just awful to watch from a Spurs standpoint. Be competitive and lose. That's one thing. But to just be as bad as they were last night, very, very alarming this early in the season.
Well, it's alarming to see Wemby, I guess, because we're expecting more out of him. And 6 points in that. Zach Lowe had an interesting tweet talking about the Spurs. And he was talking about that teams are attacking Wemby, not with their big guys, but with their smaller guys. And it's bothering him a little bit. According to Zach Lowe, at least that's what he thinks. What I thought watching the game was, and you see Chet Holmgren and just the talent that he has around him, he's playing well, but everybody else is playing well around him, and that's what Wemby doesn't have.
Yeah.
He does not have that talent around him. They miss Trey Jones, and they miss Devin Vassell. But even those two guys coming back, I'm not sure that that's going to make a huge difference, honestly. And it's what we've all been talking about forever is surrounding Wemby with some talent. I know that's going to take some time, but let's get to it already.
I look at and I think about like last night's game. It's too early in the year. Hell, we're still technically October to panic. But what we saw last night, there's just no growth from what we saw a year ago. Last night looks like we're in line for another 20-win season. and I know that's overreacting to one game, and that's fine, but it's too early in the year for Wemby to look not sharp. And I know he was dealing with the cold. Maybe he didn't feel good. Maybe that was a big part of it. And if that's the case, maybe he shouldn't have played last night because, quite frankly, he was worthless on the court last night.
Well, I wonder, will he play tonight? It's the second game of a back-to-back. Will he play tonight? That's going to be interesting. He is going to play?
Wemby may or may not as they get the Utah Jazz tonight. Let's shift gears and talk some Dallas Cowboys on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys joining us here on the Blitz a little earlier than normal, Stephen, but appreciate you taking the time and being flexible with your schedule. And you know, another tough loss to San Francisco. We were talking about this earlier. It's one thing to lose games. It's another in how you guys have lost in some of these games. When you guys are in your meetings, what are you discussing as the why things aren't going the way they were expected at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, I think it's just full body of work. I mean, you got to, there's several moving parts. And by the way, the world's smallest violin I know is out there in terms of anybody feeling sorry for, what we're about or, the struggles that we're having. But, in general, you take into an account, defensively, we do have some challenges. And, when you don't have your top 4 pass rushers and 2 of your top 4 corners and your middle linebackers playing a little one-armed, and, that's, you understand that a little bit, but it's still no excuse. And then, offensively it is, you look at it and you go, why? Why? And that's what we're trying to figure out here. How do we get better? I mean, obviously we got, we put our money where our mouth is. One of the best, if not the best, quarterback in the league, and I know a lot of people would argue the best, but he's certainly one of them. And just got one of the best receivers in the league signed up, and we think we've got good quality offensive linemen, albeit some of them young, and so a little bit of that is something that you do ask a lot of hard questions as to. Why we're a little inconsistent on the offensive side of the ball. But, one thing, I will consistently keep saying, and it's very fair that our fans are frustrated, very fair that, certainly we can be questioned about decision-making. Bill Parcells used to say, you are what you are, and we're a 3-4 football team, which is below average. And so we've got to figure out how to right that ship. But I do think we got the right kind of people in our building. I mean, we got a Super Bowl winning coach. We've got Mike Zimmer, who's been on Super Bowl team, head coach teams that went to NFC championship games. Between the two Mikes, we've got really good coaches, one of the best special teams coaches in the league. And then, like I said, between guys like Dak Prescott and Zach Martin, and, that type of a group over there, men in the locker room, I just think we got the right kind of guys who will continue to grind, do things the right way, and ultimately, hopefully things can get better. Obviously, at the last 3 years, we've done really well early and often and had great seasons, but we certainly, hadn't finished well, and hopefully this will be a reversal of roles. We'll start a little slow here, which we certainly have, and acknowledge that and understand the frustration with our fans. But hopefully we'll right the ship and finish fast.
Stephen, I want to ask you, Jerry said something on his radio show the other day that about Dak Prescott and running the football. He hasn't been doing a lot of that, and Jerry said that's okay, that you guys really don't want him to run the football a lot. When I look at Dak, though, he looks a little bit different. Are you concerned at all about that ankle or any kind of injury with Dak Prescott?
No, I just think it's Dak being smart and picking the right times. I think, if he needs to, he will. And obviously we're needing to win some games, and he knows that. And, at the right time, there's a time to do it. You look around the league, and guys who do run the football on a regular basis get hurt. And so we have coached Dak and to be smart about when you pick and choose your chances to run the ball. But I think Dak athletically is fine.
Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys joining us here on the Blitz. Stephen, with the trade deadline coming up, what do you think the odds are that you guys will be players in trying to improve this roster at the deadline?
Well, we're always trying to. It's got to make sense, and there's a lot of moving parts to what makes sense. I mean, we obviously think we've got, our two corners coming back, and we also think we're going to have, 3 of our 4 top defensive ends coming back and in due time. And, so the outlook injury-wise is positive, but at the same time, if we saw the right player who could help improve our situation right now, we'd certainly look at it and do it if it made sense.
Just real quick, Stephen, Micah Parsons, is there a chance that he could be on the field Sunday?
I think, he's got a shot, but I would call it a long shot.
Okay.
A long shot. Now, it is Halloween, Stephen. I'm curious, at the Jones house, what kind of candy are you guys passing out tonight, and are you dressing up?
I'll have to check in with who runs my house, which would be my wife. And I now have grandkids who get a hand in that as well. So I'll just be glad to be there and pass it out. And, when you're going through a little rough patch like we are right now, looking at some young kids with big smiles getting candy and dressed up does give you one respite from what is a little rough patch for us right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you dress up tonight? Does she have the whole family get together and put on costumes?
I may dress up like a Western cowboy. Put my cowboy hat on and go to work. Right now, I dress up as a Dallas Cowboy. Even some little kids may throw some eggs at me.
Stephen Jones, go smile tonight.
Yeah,
have some fun passing
fun.
out that candy. Appreciate you jumping on with us here in San Antonio.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. At least he's aware and honest about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's worried about getting egged by a little kid.
So dress up like John Wayne tonight, and they
I
won't
thought
know
he was
going to
he was gonna dress up as a general manager. Well, I let the jokes write themselves.
Interesting stuff, and I don't know. It's Steven. Doesn't look like Micah's going to be back, and that obviously is an issue for the Cowboys going into Atlanta this week.
Yeah, a long shot.
Yeah,
and so I guess there's a chance now. By all accounts, Micah was with the rehab group again today, so I would probably say no, you're not going to get Micah Parsons back this week. Some of those other guys, and maybe there is a more positive outlook on the injury front, because in all fairness to the Dallas Cowboys, when you're dealing with injuries, especially at the one position they are, one of the most important on the defensive side with the edge rushers, I mean, your top 2 are down, your backups in those 2 positions are down, and so you're going with guys that were practice squad at best or on the couch that are having to get reps and then build depth around them. Reasons or excuses. I mean, very similar conversation like with Jeff Traylor. I mean, at some point you're playing with guys that you did not anticipate having to play with, yet the expectations don't change.
well, and they've got that small violin out. Nobody gives a damn, and nobody feels sorry for the Cowboys, and they're going to try and kick their butt.
That is the world's smallest violin.
That's right, it is.
You
I
wonder
think it's
if-
funny that Steven uses the same line. That's
well,
good.
Don't you kind of figure they've got Jerryisms on like little signs all throughout the building?
Well,
When he went to the Hall of Fame, they put all the Jerryisms on napkins. I just wonder, you go in, some play go fight win, and all the other different kind of sayings that go on walls, motivational speeches, and Jerryisms.
Jerry, well, look, Steven grew up with those Jerryisms. Are you kidding me? I mean, I think we all take a little something from our dads that we probably do that are very much like him, and Steven's the same way. The certainly and the smallest violin.
Yeah. Let's get back into what we saw from the Spurs last night, because honestly, that pissed me off last night.
It did.
It was just such a crap game.
It was not a good effort. I don't care what anybody says. If the coaches can talk about, wow, we tried hard. that was just not a good game.
No, ugly all the way around. And then some of the comments afterwards. Let's talk a little Spurs basketball coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Before we do that, though, let's talk a little Stevens Roofing. I've been doing that for a long time now. Very proud to do so. Local company, family-owned company. And you know as well as I do, your roof covers your home, covers your family, and everything that you hold dear. So you want to make sure you've got a reliable roofer that keeps that thing up to par. That is Stevens Roofing. They're the best in the business. And they can do whatever you need. If you've got a commercial building that needs a roof, Stevens can handle that. You want a metal roof on your house, Stevens Roofing can handle that as well. They're licensed by the city of San Antonio, and estimates are always free. It doesn't cost you anything to get them out there to take a look. Call them, 210-785-0994. And if you're like me and just about everybody else on the planet these days and looking to save a little money, and you've been thinking about going solar, well, guess what? Stevens Roofing can help you there as well. Solar panels are increasingly affordable. They can save you money on your monthly utility bills. They'll often increase the value of your home, and there are even options to keep the lights on if the grid goes down. That's important these days. Stevens has a team of certified experts who will deliver solar solutions that are tailored to your specific needs. So for roofing or for solar, call the local company that's been trusted for decades. Call Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. Stevens Roofing has your family covered always. Give them a call, 210-785-0994.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
I have to ask the sun. At some point, is that ever going to be addressed?
Talk about it.
In the stadium, the 325 sundial effect, it just seems something that we can fix. Let's put some curtains up.
Okay. Noted.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Get huge savings during the fall sales event at Ancira Nissan on IH-10 West. At Ancira Nissan, lease this 2025 Sentra S for just $218 per month for 36 months. Or this 24 Rogue SV for just $258 per month for 36 months. Stop in or check us out at AnciraNissanSA.com. The fall sales event at Ancira Nissan on IH-10 West between Wurzbach and Heidner.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, my daily fantasy game. In fact, mine and 10 million others are playing this every day because we know what we're doing. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money on your sports action. Join me and so many others playing every day. You know why? Prize Picks invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. Look, you know your sports. How many yards is CeeDee Lamb going to get this week? Is Jonathan Taylor going to get 85 or more? You know what you're doing. Go make your play. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which players aren't? You know you play fantasy football. Put your knowledge to work. And remember, use the code Alamo and there's $50 in it for you. Download the app now. Use Alamo. Play with your friends. It's the best way to have fun and get yourself in the game. Remember, Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can add to big payouts. Download the app today. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Testosterone plays a significant role in regulating fat metabolism and distribution in the body. It also helps to reduce serious health risks down the line. I'm Manny with Rock's Discount Vitamins, and we carry the highest quality natural testosterone boosters on the market. It immediately provides you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improves your mood. With 11 San Antonio area locations, find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for all the support.
Howdy, Ags. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, inviting you to watch all A&M games at the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. Owned by Chip Ingram, class of '98, the Angry Elephant is known for their liberal cocktails at conservative prices and the best hot dog in Texas. Since 2012, the Angry Elephant's been the place to watch A&M, and this year is no different. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Rue Pub at 281 in Redland Road. The Angry Elephant. Like your bar, love your Aggies. Gig 'em.
Hey, pet parents. With Progressive's collision coverage, you get extra protection for your cat or dog, because there's nothing worse than seeing your pet hurt. Like when you see their face after accidentally stepping on their tail, and you say, "I'm so sorry, Mr. Pickles." But as you kiss his nose and rub his little belly welly, you know Mr. Pickles is thinking, "You betrayed me." Anywho, Progressive pays up to $1,000 in vet bills if your pet is injured in an auto accident. Learn more at Progressive.com and watch where you step. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Collision coverage subject to policy terms. Not available in all states.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies, undefeated in the SEC, take on the South Carolina Gamecocks. Presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Thursday night football tonight. Got the Texans and Jets right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, brought to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. One of those where you need a couple of TVs, something on the radio, something on the TV, however you do it at your house, because you also have the Spurs playing tonight. In a game that, honestly, I didn't give a damn about until I watched them really poop the bed last night. They get the winless Jazz tonight. Wemby not on the injury report. Wouldn't have been surprised on the second night of a back-to-back with him not playing well last night. Maybe, he obviously tweaked something in the first half last night. That's why he can't go tonight and why he sucked last night in the second half. Not that he was any better in the first half, but last night's game made me angry watching the Spurs. And generally speaking, Joe, the Spurs, especially as of late, I'm not going to get upset, especially in October. But my goodness, that was a nationally televised game. Hyped up matchup between Wemby and Chet. And I know it's Spurs and Thunder, but it just, what you saw last night was a damn disgrace.
Well, I tell you what, it really was. And look, Oklahoma City has got an opportunity to represent the West in the NBA Finals. I don't think anybody's questioning that. They're a much better basketball team than the Spurs. There's nobody going to question that. But the effort was not there. It's almost like the Spurs went into that game saying, Oklahoma City's pretty good, and we just don't match up, so it is what it is. And I don't know. But Victor Wembanyama, the worst game as a Spur, without a doubt. 6 points last night. They did a good job on him. He only took 5 shots, for goodness sake. So that's a problem. And then I look at the stat sheet, and I see Jeremy Sohan taking 16 shots. I'm not sure why that is. They've got nobody else around Victor Wembanyama that can help take the pressure off like Chet Holmgren has at OKC.
And again, I went into last night's game thinking this is a good measuring stick kind of game for the San Antonio Spurs. And they didn't measure up at all. They're so far not even close. I'm going to sound like Jameis Winston. It's between here and the moon. And I know last night was a really poor effort on the Spurs, and we know they're not that team, or we're hoping they're not that team. And when Devin gets back and Trey Jones gets back, but I mean, we're talking about Devin and Trey Jones. It's not like we're waiting for a Wemby to get back. But Wemby looked extremely average yesterday. And we talked about this a lot last year during his rookie year. The expectations for him right away are off the charts, right? And you see other picks. They don't come in and they don't dominate. But what I don't expect from a player like Wemby, when I think about a guy who I know is going to win Defensive Player of the Year, when I think about a guy that I know is going to be in the MVP conversation, a guy like Wemby doesn't have a game like that. Period.
Not in a national televised game against Oklahoma City, the best team in the West.
In any game. I mean, when you think about the superstars of superstars, they don't have games like that.
No.
They don't. I mean, you're talking about a guy who was ranked number 11 in that ESPN Top 100. Those kind of guys don't have off nights. I mean, their teammates might have off nights, but Wemby is so damn talented and so damn good. He should not have a game like that. On ESPN right now, I can see it behind Pledge's head. It's Giannis. When was the last time Giannis had a game like that? You think about all the different superstars, from the Steph Currys to LeBron James to you name them. They can all have bad games, but their bad games aren't 1 of 5, 6 points in 27 minutes. Wemby, sorry, dude, the rules are different for you. You don't get to have a game like that.
Well, I don't understand why he only takes 5 shots. Somebody tell me that and explain that to me. If he's your best player, which he is, why is Wemby only taking 5 shots in a game? I mean, and Jeremy Sohan is taking 16, for goodness sake. Now, Harrison Barnes was probably the best player on the floor last night, but why is Victor Wembanyama taking 5 shots in a game, 27 minutes or not? I mean, it should be at least double, triple that.
It should. And again, Jeremy, I don't mind Jeremy shooting the ball because I don't know who else is going to shoot the ball at this point on this team. I mean, nobody was good last night for the Spurs, but Wemby was non-existent on the court, which can't happen. You can't be a superstar and have a game like that. Now, I get he's not feeling well. He had a cold the other night. It doesn't go away. I've had this thing lingering for about a week. You're not 100%. It goes with that. I don't know if Pop thought about sitting him, but it's national TV and it's on the road. And Pop doesn't give a damn. I mean, he shouldn't have been out there. And honestly, I'm surprised that Pop left him out there for as long as he did with the performance that we were getting at halftime. If he would have come out in street clothes, I would have been okay because he was just that bad. And when he's that bad and he's your best player, you could just see the trickle-down effect amongst everything else. When you have an ineffective Wemby, you have a very ineffective Spurs team.
Well, he's your best guy, right? He's got to lead the way, and that's what we talk about. But he needs some help. You watched Chet Holmgren last night, and Chet is very aggressive. He was last night. And everybody, you would ask 100 people, who's better, Chet Holmgren or Wemby? And you'd probably get about 90, maybe 99, I don't know, saying Wemby. But not last night. Chet Holmgren was a pretty damn good player. He's got help, though. There are other concerns. The Spurs don't. So Oklahoma City can go in there and say, we shut down Wemby, we're going to win this game. There's nobody else. Keldon Johnson's not a threat. That guy's horrible. I mean, he can't hit it. He can't hit the ocean right now. And with Sohan taking the shots that he's shooting, he's not a shooter. He's not. So the Spurs have the same problem they've had for years. They've got nobody that can put the ball in the basket. I think Devin Vassell will help. But again, that's what I was complaining about this whole time. But hey, Chris Paul's there is going to make everything great. They got nothing. And if the plan is to wait for 2025, well, good luck, because if you're going to win 22 games again this year, it's going to be a great season.
Cooper Flag.
Yeah, whatever.
No, but again, having Chris Paul here, he's going to help those guys. He's going to teach. And you see a tweet today from Zach Lowe. Spurs' issue is simple. Every team is now putting their C's on Sohan centers, guarding Wemby with wings, switching, taking away the easy stuff. Not even sure Spurs have a non-Sohan lineup that would force opponents to guard Wemby with centers. They have to get more creative, Wemby more forceful. Now, and I'm a big Zach Lowe fan, Wemby more forceful, I think that will come with time. We've seen Wemby
how much
at
time?
We've seen Wemby improve from last year to now.
He's pretty forceful this summer.
Yeah, last
what
night
happened?
Not there. But they have to get more creative. Is that Zach Lowe with a subtle shot that has the game passed by Greg Popovich.
Well, he goes on after that to say, look, Pop and his coaching staff know 100 times more than I do.
Sure.
And they're probably in the lab working up stuff, and he doesn't want to piss off Greg Popovich.
That's exactly what that is, but that statement right there is exactly what that's saying. They've got to get more. I feel like we're talking about Mike McCarthy. Like all of a sudden, Mike McCarthy forgot how to design plays until Jerry calls him out on the radio.
Well, I've got Chris Rackley on Twitter. At Joe Reinagel, you need to include at Jason Minix, but he says Spurs organization suffering from the Jerry Sloan syndrome.
Here we go.
Coach who has stayed way longer than he should have. Pop has got to go. And look, if they lose to Utah tonight, for goodness sake, then you can throw up the panic flag. It's so early.
It's October.
I get it, but nobody. I didn't expect this team to come out 1-3.
You know, I wouldn't have been surprised 1-3. You split with Houston. You lose to Dallas. You lose to Oklahoma City. That's not overly surprising.
It's got to get
better. But it's the way they have lost. The way they looked last night.
I'm not giving them a break this year. That's ridiculous. You know, they say all the right things, and this is supposed. But there was no moves made to improve this team from an offensive standpoint. None. And you want to say Chris Paul? Okay, maybe because the old alley-oop to Wemby. Yeah. Where the hell was that last night?
Well, I mean, you got to.
Where has it been?
You got to have the alley-oop to get to the oop. I don't. It's October and the Spurs are already frustrating. Well, you say you're not going to give them a pass. I don't know that any of us are.
Well, we shouldn't give them a pass.
And I think a big part of that is we're tired of waiting. We're tired of losing, not being a playoff team. The idea that, Wemby, you're in your second year. Pop saying this year is about winning. That's equivalent to Jerry saying we're all in. That changes the expectations this year. I know that they're saving everything for 2025, so they didn't want to overcommit this year. I get that. There's a plan, but there's got to be improvement in this Spurs basketball team. And through 4 games, we're not seeing it. And you get the winless Jazz tonight. Like you said, they lose tonight.
Then you panic a little bit.
I mean,
you do. If you lose to the Jazz tonight, who are just abysmal. You talk about tanking. They're already tanking. And we're in October. I mean, they are in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes big time. There's no question. But let me just say this, and piss everybody off.
Oh, here we go.
Champagnie, Sohan, Barnes, Wembanyama, and Paul. Does that scare anybody? No.
It's trick or treat, man. Halloween.
It scares nobody. And then you've got Keldon Johnson, 4 of 11 last night.
There's the guy that.
Yeah, Malachi Branham. Is that your shining star? 15 points last. I'm sick and tired of these guys that are.
You know how bad it is.
They're G-leaguers, for goodness sake, that are on an NBA roster.
You know how bad it is for the San Antonio Spurs? I mean, not only were they missing shot after shot after shot after shot, the person that sews the names on the jerseys missed last night. I mean, how do you misspell Blake Wesley? I mean, I don't understand. I mean, last year they misspelled Wemby's name. I get it. They had an M instead of an N at one point. But how does the guy that or gal, I don't know who puts the names on the back of the Spurs jerseys, how do they get that wrong more than once? More than once.
I don't know.
How does that happen? But Blake Wesley, it's all attention to detail. Whether it's on the basketball court or it's in the training room, Spurs are lacking attention to detail.
It's just last night was really pathetic, and nobody expected that. Nobody expected them to win, but you expect them to compete, and they didn't even do that. I mean, to the 12-point loss, they covered the spread. I guess you could be happy about that. It was a 12.5-point spread, but the game was a lot worse than the 12-point deficit at the end.
Yeah, a lot of bettors weren't happy with the Spurs making that late run to make it look respectable when it wasn't. It was, and on national TV, no less. That was brutal. So let's go from one topic like that to another. It's Cowboys. Offensive funk. Interesting choice of words. We'll get into that coming up here on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday on the Morning Huddle, Spurs and a back-to-back in Utah. We'll look at what happened. How'd the Texans do last night? And how will the Cowboys do this weekend? Plus all the football coming up. It's the Morning Huddle. Starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
GiveMeTheVin.com. Our expert buying team knows exotics, luxury cars, classics, diesels, lifted stuff, hot rods, inside and out. We buy them at GiveMeTheVin.com. It's a one-stop shop to get into a pool of absolute experts. Join my YouTube channel, John Clay Wolf. GiveMeTheVin.com. They don't call me America's best car buyer for nothing.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Flo here from Progressive to tell you how you get more than great savings with us. You get customer service access through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
That's a lot of ways I can get in touch with you. I see what's going on here. You can't name favorites, but I'm your #1 customer.
Actually, we offer all our customers these ways to contact us.
I'm sure you give just any customer your personal
company
contact info.
Well, you did call us more than any other customer this year. So in that sense, you are our #1 customer.
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we pay tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks. The unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe pork rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe pork rinds. It's crunch time. Find your rind at H-E-B.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station when you buy a Connecticut water softener. A free drinking water system installed at your kitchen sink with the cleanest, best tasting water you've ever had. Better for your coffee maker, better for cooking, better for everything. Free with the purchase of a Connecticut water softener, but only for a limited time.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
And is the last water softener you'll ever own. Right now, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking water station when you buy a Connecticut water softener. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call us at 656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Connecticut.
George Gets Justice. The attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers are proud of their local roots and their deep connection to San Antonio. They stand up for their neighbors, fight for justice, and make sure every voice is heard. When you've been injured in an accident, count on George Salinas Injury Lawyers. George guarantees that you don't pay anything unless they win your case. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George Gets Justice. GetGeorge.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
Guys, Underdog is the place to play if you're a sports fan looking to win money while you're watching sports. They've got all your favorite leagues, teams, and stars to choose from. You think Dak is going to have higher or lower yards than his stat coming up in this game? You can make money off that opinion at Underdog. Create entries with football, basketball, mix and match. You can do it all. They've even got college sports as well. I've been playing a lot of those college props. I think there is some money to be made in those deals. This week on Underdog, I'm looking at the Spurs. I'm going Wemby to go over on his rebounds and guys, again, every sport is available on here. It's a blast, and it just makes the games more interesting. This season, they're running a special promo or bonus almost every single day. Profit boost, discounts, free picks. They're basically a sure thing. A player has to get higher than a half a point to get the win. All new users get a free pick. Download the app, sign up with the promo code Alamo, deposit now, and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash immediately. That's promo code Alamo. Must be 18 or older. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
The Morning Huddle.
This is the second time in a row where Rob has conveniently forgotten his wallet the day that we go get lunch.
I didn't suggest lunch today, though.
We
You
do
did.
lunch almost every Wednesday.
I'd forgotten the day.
They brought us our checks, and then Rob, hey, one of you guys is going to have to cover this. I don't have my wallet.
Oh,
man. And I said, wait a minute, that's exactly what you said last week.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Happy Halloween. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
You like that music, huh?
Sure.
Pledge is spinning the platters in there.
Spinning platters. Absolutely. Like judging meat, which we'll do a little bit later on in the show. If you haven't done so yet, you've got time to upload your grilling photos, that great meat on your grill, to the Grilling with the Blitz page at sasportstar.com, because later in the show, we'll judge meat and give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. And, you know, you kind of figure it's the Falcons this week. Maybe you want to do some wings or some chicken. Maybe if you want to try to do a turkey earlier, maybe a Cornish game hen or a beer can chicken just to practice for Thanksgiving. You could do that if you got to work on some rubs or different things that you might try to do.
Well, that brings up an interesting question. Can you do a beer can turkey?
Sure.
I mean, seriously. I mean, the chicken tastes fantastic. It falls off the bone.
Sure.
Very nice, really moist. How about a turkey?
I mean, you could.
Would you need a 16-ounce beer or maybe one of those big 25-ounce cans?
Sure, Joe.
Or a keg, a little keg thing.
A little kegerator up their ass.
Butt.
You idiot. I mean, I suppose you could do a beer can turkey.
I guess.
I mean, it would take you about 5 hours.
It may take longer than that, right?
It depends on how big the bird is. I mean, if you're doing a 16-pound bird or 10-pound bird, maybe not. If you're trying to go for a 24-pound bird, yeah, it's going to take a while.
Yeah, well,
I mean, the question is, do you have the little contraption like you get for the beer can chicken? They got little contraptions to make that work. You would have to engineer something.
You'd have to be bigger than that.
Well, I mean, to hold a turkey up in your smoker that way. I mean, I'm sure you could come up with a contraption. The concept, I think, would be the same, although it would ruin your stuffing completely.
Well, I don't want anything coming out of the turkey's butt anyway. I'll do the stuffing separately.
Dude, you've got to cook the stuffing in the turkey. It makes it better. Otherwise, you're just opening a box of stove top and putting it on
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, it's not the same. If you don't get the good, this was inside the turkey taste to it.
There is a beer can turkey recipe.
Well, of course there is.
I'm just saying, it takes 16 hours.
16?
According to this one.
But my first thought, I know it's beer can. That's got to be the driest bird ever.
I wonder
16 hours, I mean, all the beer would evaporate, wouldn't
it? That turkey, see, this one's only 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Well, is it 16 or is it 2:45? That's a bit of a difference, Joe.
Well, there's a hell of a difference, but there's more than one recipe.
All right.
So this one is beer can turkey. It's got 5 stars.
Okay.
On the reviews.
Sure.
And it says it's easy.
Well, it is easy.
You cook it 2 hours 2 hours only.
That doesn't seem right.
It doesn't. You can use 12 or 24 ounces of beer. It just depends on how much.
2 hours at what? 400 degrees maybe?
350.
How small of a turkey? Sounds more like they got a chicken in there. Yeah, they're just calling it a turkey.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Or is it a turducken? Let's go all John Madden on this thing.
I wouldn't do that. Now, the smoked beer can over here says 16 hours total, and that it looks pretty. The picture they have there.
You know, when you see that lady walking to the bar and rode hard, put up wet, that's what that turkey looks like. Good Lord. I mean, you want turkey jerky? There it is.
Woo!
That picture does not look appetizing.
Well, I'm not talking about the turkey. I'm talking about the thing he's sitting on. That's just like, woo!
I mean, you realize that's where it goes, right? But the bird doesn't look good either.
No, it really doesn't. It's a little overcooked, so don't do 16.
Well, you don't know that it's overcooked. That's how it's supposed to be.
No. Bring the turkey for 12 hours. Ensure it's incredibly moist. Brining.
It's called brine the turkey.
Brine the turkey.
Yeah.
For 12 hours. Okay. I'm not doing a beer can turkey for Thanksgiving.
Thank goodness.
No, won't be happening.
Stick to brisket.
Yes, I'll be doing that. Woo! That turkey was like, damn, I've been rode hard and put up wet.
Good Lord.
Damn.
Kind of how Mike McCarthy is going to feel in January when he's back in his office up there at the Star.
Yeah.
But until then, he continues to offer us incredible insights on Dallas Cowboys' suckage this year. Mike McCarthy talking about Dak and the offensive funk.
Number one, this system's built on making the quarterback successful. I mean, that's the way I learned it 30-plus years ago. So, everything we do is built into that. And obviously the starting point of making a quarterback successful is running a football. So we can start right there. We need to get more production out of the run game, increase the action pass opportunities, and then from that, take it to the next step is the pass protection. And then, obviously the pass perimeter. So it's about making him successful. If anything, I would guard against, asking him to feel like he has to do more than he's already doing. So he just needs to really focus in on playing quarterback, and he's a great worker. I mean, super diligent, and we'll get to where we need to get to.
Focus in on playing quarterback, Dak. Do that. That's good advice. Jeez, focus in on playing quarterback. That's great advice, Mike. He is a quarterback after all. Focus in on that.
Sometimes when these guys are doing interviews, part of you, are you trying to be funny? Or are you insulting our intelligence? I mean, hell, did you hear Mike Elko earlier today on the Jim Rome show when Jim Rome asked him, what quarterback are you going to start this week against South Carolina?
Yeah, we've decided we're definitely going to have a quarterback back there behind the center. And,
no way.
That's the decision we've come to, and
really?
I think we're going to roll with it.
Well, was that an organizational decision, or did you come up with that yourself?
All by myself. I wanted to take that one all into my hands. No, obviously we're gonna figure this thing out as we head into the weekend and do what we think gives us the best chance to win.
So obviously he doesn't want to say he's funny. He's that's not even insulting intelligence. That's being funny. Then for Mike McCarthy, I think he started to answer that question in a sincere way and then realized I don't want to give away any secrets here. So I mean, clearly most offensive systems are designed for success, right?
Sure.
I mean, I don't know of any coach out there that designs an offense that can't score. Most plays are designed to score a touchdown. Like every play out there is designed for a touchdown, with the exception of maybe a quarterback sneak or the play that Mike McCarthy called on the first play of the third down with a tight end out for none yards.
But he could have gone for a touchdown in his head.
Most plays are designed for success. Some things just, what are you saying, right? I mean, clearly, Mike McCarthy, yes, I'm designing this offense to make it harder on Dak Prescott.
Right.
That SOB, he's now the highest paid guy. I'm going to make him look like an idiot because I'm going to get fired anyway. I mean, they might as well say something dumb like that, but yeah. Of course, the offense is designed for quarterback success. Duh. But is Dak doing too much? Most offenses are designed with a competent running game. Cowboys certainly don't have that. Most offenses are designed with a fully functioning offensive line. Cowboys clearly don't have that. Most offenses are designed to have, 2, at least, maybe 3 weapons on the outside, these things called wide receivers. Cowboys have one of those.
Well, they're supposed to have more than that. Now, Brandon Cooks is out, hurt, obviously. Nothing you can do about that. But the Jaylens are sitting there. And, they were supposed to be the next, especially the one named Tolbert. He was supposed to be the guy, 3rd-round draft pick. He's coming in here and doing it. He obviously is not. Jake Ferguson has fallen off the cliff. He really has. He hasn't been available. Now, is that because Dak doesn't have any time? Or Jake's just not getting open? Look, CeeDee Lamb had a hell of a game last week.
It is.
But is that the problem? Is Dak just looking for CD and saying, make it happen? I mean, there's all kinds of things that you could talk about there. And look, I think it's a legit question. With an offensive line the way the Cowboys have it, you need a little bit of a mobile quarterback to get out of trouble. And right now, Dak's not it. And I know Stephen Jones doesn't want us to, there's nothing wrong with Dak. Well, he needs to move.
Yeah, I think that Jerry Jones was the most honest about it the other day. They don't want him to get hurt this year because this year isn't worth risking your injury for. It just isn't. I mean, the Cowboys know as a front office that they're not Super Bowl contenders this year. I mean, Steven told us earlier today on the show that, they're always, if the deal is right, they'll make a trade at the deadline, which is the first time in the last month that anybody with the last name of Jones has given a real answer when it comes to the trade deadline. I mean, Jerry's been emphatic about not being active. As we get closer to it, how are the Cowboys truly feeling about this season? If they feel like they've got a chance, it's worth investing in this year's roster. But by all of their actions, you could tell they're not investing in this year's roster. It's almost like getting gap insurance on your car. They don't want Dak Prescott to get hurt this year because this year isn't worth running and risking when you know there is no trophy at the end of this season.
I think Dak's hurt anyway. I think that ankle's bothering him, and I think that's a big reason why he's not moving around. The guy looks old back there right now, and I'm not saying he's old. He's a 31-year-old guy, and I think he's fine, but I think that ankle is bothering him more than they want to let on, and that's why they don't want him to run, or that's why he's not running. And I say maybe they don't improve the roster. If it is what you say it is, and that's your theory, then trade away some of your players. Get rid of a Zeke Elliott. He can go to another team and get a draft pick or a Dalvin Cook or you've got some play. Be sellers then. If that's the way it is, be sellers before the trade deadline and get some draft picks.
I would like them to do something at the deadline, whether they're buyers or sellers, and at this point, sell. The problem is you're not going to be able to trade Zeke. Who wants him? You're not going to be able to trade Dalvin Cook. Who wants him? And you still have to run the football. And so
they haven't been doing that with those two guys.
I mean,
put Deuce in.
Well, hell, man, make Trey Lance a running back. Do something. But what they're doing right now, and maybe whatever happens Sunday in Atlanta will go a long way in determining what the Cowboys ultimately end up doing at the trade deadline. But when you look at it's going to be on full display tonight on Thursday Night Football. You've got Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers isn't what he was, but he's nowhere close to what he probably could be right now because of no offensive line. And he's got a lot of weapons, but they don't have an offensive line that can block for anything. I mean, you talk about having no time. The Jets' offensive line issues might be worse than the Dallas Cowboys' offensive line issues.
Houston Texans, you could throw them in there too.
And the Houston Texans don't have much of an offensive. But here's the thing with Houston's offensive line. They can at least run block. They can't pass block, and they can barely line up at times. Over under on Laramie Tunsil false starts tonight. 1.5?
Well, I hope it's more than that, because that'd be an easy bet to win.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, is Kenyon Green still around? Has he been benched forever? He's going to start again tonight. I mean, but those guys can at least run block, and they have a really good running back that nobody thought was going to be really good in Joe Mixon. I mean, there's a reason Joe Mixon was cast aside, but they can't pass block. And C.J. Stroud, his numbers on the road versus home are wickedly different. But at the same time, Cowboys, I mean, they can get rid of running backs. Somebody still has to run the football. Somebody has to pretend to be a run back. And
well, you got to commit to the run. And so far they haven't done that. And I don't want to hear this crap that we're falling behind and we can't run. That was not the case against San Francisco, and they still chose not to run the football. So, Mike McCarthy, you want a running game, you've got to commit to the running game. That's it, and you're not doing it. So, I mean, as bad as we want to rag on Zeke or Dalvin or Rico or even little Deuce, I mean, you got to run the football. You got to commit to it to see if you've got anything there. And they're not committed to it. And it's just that simple.
Run.
Joe Mixon, by the way, wasn't cast aside. Are you kidding me? They wouldn't pay him in Cincinnati, so he left.
Yeah.
He's a damn good running back.
Yeah. They didn't want to pay him.
No, they didn't want to pay him.
They didn't want to keep him.
Well, that was their problem. They wish they had him back, I'll guarantee you.
He was cast off by those guys.
Cast off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got out of there as fast as he could.
Yeah.
He cast them off. There's a difference.
Is there?
Yes. Talking about Joe Mixon. He's on my fantasy team, and he's damn good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
If your fantasy team was only damn good.
They are. I'm in third place.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
You just lost, didn't you?
I did. Still in third place.
Brutal loss.
It was. That's like not enough lights on the scoreboard, for goodness sake.
Oh, poor Joe.
I know it.
Speaking of scoreboards, we have to celebrate the first points of an NBA career for one Bronny James. An historic moment last night.
Yes.
I mean, we should have stopped the game, presented a game ball, standing ovations. There'll be T-shirts made, Fanatics and Nyko Sports probably going to come out with commemorative basketball because we all want to celebrate the first NBA points of Bronny James. We'll get into that.
Bronny has earned it.
Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. If you need caps made, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, just waiting for your logo. And he's got all the popular cap brands like Katie Caps, the Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Nike Cap America, to name a few. If you need T-shirts screen printed, go see Sam. You want to make some T-shirts that say "Run the damn ball, Mike McCarthy"? You can do that at Sam's, or just put your company logo on there. Long sleeve tees, short sleeve tees, he'll get you taken care of. If you need your logo on a golf shirt, fishing shirt, dress shirt, a half zip, whatever it is, Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices, and Sammy has all the big-name brands. No order too big, no order too small. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom down on San Pedro, about a mile inside Loop 410, next to the Big Lots across from McDonald's. Or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
You're locked on the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday at noon. The back-to-back road trip ends in Atlanta with the boys taking on the Falcons.
I like this kind of party!
Pregame starts at 11. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
You asked for it, you got it! How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Getting arrested can feel like a sucker punch to the face. Don't accept mediocrity while staying down for the count. Get up and fight for your reputation and your future. At Barton & Associates, we have a stable of hard-hitting and aggressive lawyers ready to get your life back on track. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasArrest.com. Barton & Associates. We are here to get your life and reputation back.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
It's football season, and you know the best place to watch games is at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road, with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. College, pro, the games are on at the Roo. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Hey, dude, you didn't tell me that you wrecked it, and it looks wrecked. How much was the insurance check? $8,000. Yeah, did y'all spend it on fixing it, or did you put it in your pocket? Well, you know, my cousin, just stop there.
Stop.
Just stop there. All I needed to know is $8,000 insurance and a cousin.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're a man and you live in or around the San Antonio area, you need to listen to this message. Do you find yourself stressing about or even avoiding intimate moments? Do you find yourself thinking, is it going to work? Does your partner look at you and ask, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you get frustrated when things don't live up to their expectations? Men, you're not alone, and we have a solution. For over a decade, Mojo has delivered 100% guaranteed male performance results. Mojo truly works every single time. Guys, Mojo works when all other things fail, and its proprietary formula has helped thousands of men live their best lives again. Yeah! Mojo is 100% natural, blood pressure safe, diabetic friendly, and fast acting. And Mojo is now available in both spray and capsule formulas, exclusively at Pure Line Nutrition. Call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today at 210-494-2210. That's Pure Line Nutrition, 210-494-2210.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
We have Thursday night football tonight. C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans go to New York to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. You can catch all the action right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 6:30. Texans defensive end Will Anderson Jr. has been named the AFC Defensive Player of the Month. And Cowboys kicker Brandon Aubrey done with jury duty. They found the defendant guilty of felony assault, sentenced him to 65 years.
Woo!
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, and happy Thursday.
And happy Thursday.
It is Halloween, isn't it?
You know, here's the problem. In the old folks' home area that Reinagel lives, there'll be no trick-or-treaters. He has no candy. His porch light will be off. He's bah humbug.
Yeah.
My wife last night brought home even more candy, and I separated what can stay in the house and what we'll give to the kids.
Do you answer the door, or does your wife? Yeah, you don't.
Well, I used to. I like to for a while, but not very long.
Yeah?
Once I find my way to the recliner and the game is on, I'm not answering the door. But she'll end up sitting outside with the neighbors and drinking. And there's a couple of different areas where people are set up in their driveways, and it's basically just a party. So people aren't coming to the front door, and I'll go inside and watch the game and not be bothered.
Well, and
so it works.
That's not a bad thing.
But
so they don't ring the doorbell either that way.
Exactly. But I like to be able to, don't give the kids the good candy. Leave that here. Give them that.
Well, what do you consider the good candy? What did you take out? Just so all you kids listening, when you go to the Minix house tonight, you're not going to have this.
Peanut M&Ms. You're not getting those. The yellow bags are staying at my house.
Wow.
Right? That's staying.
Now, you didn't bring any in here so we could enjoy Halloween?
No.
Why not?
Because you bring candy to work the day after Halloween, not the day of.
Well, there won't be any left.
What do you mean there won't be any left?
I'm talking about the peanut M&Ms.
At my house?
Yes. You're going to eat them all.
Not tonight. But over time, I mean, that's what we always have a candy bowl at the house. But like my wife didn't buy, I don't want to say she didn't buy the good stuff, but she didn't buy the good stuff. You know, I got no Reese's. I got no Hershey bars, but I like, Reinagel doesn't like peanut butter.
I don't want Reese's.
Right?
But peanut M&Ms, yes.
Peanut M&Ms.
For sure.
Absolutely. You know, the regular plain M&Ms, give those to the kids.
Yeah, they can have those.
You know, they get
absolutely.
I like some Skittles, not all. Give the kids Skittles. You know, then you get in the little variety bag you got Snickers and you got Twix. They can have all the Twix they want. I like a Twix, but I don't need them all. Snickers, I don't need to share those.
Snickers are good.
Yeah.
Not bad. What is that, the 100 grand bar with those are good.
Are those good? I saw David Chancellor from News 4 post something about that's the most underrated candy bar.
They're good. I like those.
They are good, but when do you ever get one?
I don't.
I don't either. I can't tell you the last time I had one of those to say if they're good or not. It's almost like a payday. I like a good payday bar, but I can't tell you the last time I had one. It's like the whatchamacallit. That used to be a go-to. And
whatchamacallit?
You remember the whatchamacallits?
I don't remember that.
Oh, you remember the whatchamacallits?
Not a big candy guy.
Well, all right, bah humbug. Like I said.
I'm just saying.
Like I said. But, I mean, there are, Butterfingers. That my wife didn't buy the bag that has the Butterfingers in it.
Is that like a Butterface?
Oh, Jesus. But when you look at it, right? See, that's what I got to do is with the neighbor kids tonight.
Yes.
Especially Eli and Adler.
Right.
Because they'll get distracted, and I can steal their candy with no problem. Or I can trade them.
Oh, so whatever you send them out, and what they don't like, they give it to you.
Well, no, it's this because those kids, they're at that age where they'll make 18 laps around the neighborhood. Maybe especially Eli, he'd come in, change costumes, and then go back out and pretend like they hadn't seen him before. But they will come back and they'll have so much candy, and they're not going to notice if I snag some good stuff.
Well,
but I might have to be sneaky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it happens.
It does.
It does.
It does. See, and then you got guys like Pledge who will actually go trick-or-treating tonight.
Pledge will go trick-or-treating?
Pledge always goes trick-or-treating.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, are you kidding? Halloween's his holiday. I mean, he dresses up as some of those comic book heroes on the weekends just for fun. He can actually do it today and go to the bar and not get weird looks.
Well, he can't do that today. He'll be watching the Texans tonight.
He's going to be watching it at a bar. I mean, think about Pledge as a single man that likes to dress up in costumes, which might explain why he's a single man. At a bar tonight where everybody working in the bar industry is going to be dressed up, and those going to the bars tonight are going to be wearing as little as possible that legally they can get away with at the bar. It's a great night for a single guy that dresses up to go out.
Well, it is, and I wonder.
And they'll have the Texans game on.
They will, and the Spurs game, all of that stuff. But I'm not sure. Like I'm looking at the TV inside where Pledge is, and I see Laura Rutledge in there.
Uh-huh.
She's not dressed up, but Malika Andrews was, and what was disappointing about that is she had pants on.
Wow. What?
I mean, you're talking about a scantily clad costume. I didn't mean she's going to take her pants off. That you don't understand. But
apparently we do.
There was no scantily clad Malika Andrews. She was dressed as like an elf or something.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
So you wanted Laura Rutledge to be on TV without pants?
Don't you? I mean, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm just
careful.
You're talking about scantily clad Halloween costumes in the bar tonight.
Yes.
And I'm sure there will be some of those.
Yeah, in the bar, not on television. Like, I don't know that anybody working on television, from Laura Rutledge to Malika Andrews to you name it locally, they've got to wear pants to work. It's like HR.
I don't think so. The other girl on there didn't have pants on.
Well, what was she wearing?
A dress.
Okay. But she wasn't like on TV wearing a thong or something.
Well, no, I'm not saying that.
Well, that's what you're hoping
you
for.
You could be like dress up like a Hooters girl or something.
Okay. Swing and a miss, Pledge. Swing and a miss. Uh-huh.
I'm just saying. I don't know. I won't be in any bars tonight, so.
Oh, but you could be.
I guess so. I could be.
You could be.
Could be.
You could be.
But I won't be.
Why not?
I'll be at home.
Okay.
So maybe Maggie's got a little scantily clad Halloween costume ready and prepared.
I'm sure she does.
Yes.
I'm sure she does.
Nice.
Now, I mean, here's what you do tonight. Without trying to get yourself in trouble.
All right.
Because I know your wife extremely well. Say, hey, why don't we go out tonight? Let's go get a drink over at the Angry Elephant. And she's going to say, that's a great idea, Joe.
Yeah, she would say that.
And again, you say because you want to be able to watch the Spurs game and you want to watch the Texans game. And
I can do that now.
You can.
I can.
You can.
Yes.
But we're focusing on getting you out of the house.
Okay, all right.
So, and you go, because knowing what's going to be going on at the Rue Pub tonight, you're going to have to dress up as a blind referee. So you put your shades on, you get your cane, that way you don't get in trouble.
Can you, use the cane for is that what you're talking about?
No.
Woo!
I don't. There's nothing to lift up, if you know what I mean. You won't need that cane. You need the sunglasses so you don't get in trouble for staring.
I'm just saying. There are uses for that cane, I'm sure.
There probably are. There probably are.
I could be dressed like Bronny James. He seems to be getting all the attention these days.
You know, Bronny James is. Sure. I mean, it's like for Halloween, he dressed up as an NBA player and made the right amount of donation to the NIL fund and actually got to play in the game. He scores a bucket. The crowd goes wild, and they cut down the net and give it to him because everybody gets the net when they score their first NBA bucket.
Well, do they?
No.
Nobody does. So I wake up this morning.
Here we go.
And the first thing I see on my phone when I go to ESPN, Bronny James scores his first NBA bucket. I'm like, okay, well, let me see. I guess the Lakers must have won. They got clobbered last night by the Cleveland Cavaliers. But nobody's talking about poor Cleveland. It's like Bronny James scored his first NBA bucket. And it was everywhere. What am I missing? I mean, seriously.
Okay, mister, you don't have a heart. It's
well, what about the poor schlub that's the first year in the NBA and he scored his bucket? He's probably going, what the hell? I didn't get the net.
Are you kidding? Did you see Keaton Wallace, former UTSA Roadrunner, playing with Atlanta, got his first bucket? They gave him a game ball.
I didn't see that.
Well, it happened.
It does. It did not.
It did. It's on the internet. There's a picture of him on the plane. They gave him a game ball. He scored his first NBA bucket.
That's great.
Yes, it happens.
I don't know
Joe.
I don't know what I'm missing here.
You're not a fan of LeBron. Now,
LeBron's fine.
What you're missing is that Bronny James does not deserve to be in the NBA.
And he won't be very soon.
No, he'll be in the G League. He's having his NBA moment. They're documented. I imagine there's a documentary. It's probably going to be a Netflix series.
Got a camera crew following him?
The shot.
Probably.
Right? The shot where he scores his first it's dumb. It's dumb.
Bronny has earned it. The first thing I see when I wake up this morning, get on the phone, Bronny James gets his first NBA bucket. I'm like, wow, okay. I mean, seriously, we're stopping the presses for Bronny James getting his first NBA bucket?
You're aware that he was born and raised basically in that arena.
Okay, and what difference does it make?
He's coming home.
Is he a professional basketball player, or is he – somebody tweeted out. He's like the kid that –
You remember your first, don't you? You celebrate it.
Seriously.
You keep the souvenir.
They treated him like he's some kid with special needs that got his Make-A-Wish
Foundation. You're not going the Make-A-Wish line, are you?
I'm just saying that's what I saw. It's like, hey, we're going to allow Bronny to score here, so it's all good, just to make him feel better.
I mean, we got the game in hand. Bring in Bronny, let him score. It's going to be a great moment. He's going to get a standing ovation.
That's it. Nobody guard him. We'll just let him shoot. He'll make it, and it'll make his day.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness. Well, congratulations, Bronny.
Wait till we celebrate his second basket.
Yeah, we should celebrate every basket. Everything he does when he puts his uniform on,
here we go.
We should the band should strike up. My gosh. The band. The cheerleaders will go wild. The fans will give him a standing ovation. Look, he managed to pull up his shorts.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
Although, what a great promotional idea. You could probably sell an NIL sponsorship deal on this thing for Bronny. For every time he scores in an NBA game, everybody gets a free, I don't know, burger, taco, pizza.
That'd be a pretty safe bet.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
It was unbelievable. But LeBron didn't even get excited about it because naturally, as soon as he made the basket, the camera's right on LeBron's face,
well, of course,
and he's just standing there.
It's a special moment.
For who?
LeBron.
Yeah.
In NBA, it's history.
History. It's history, really? That's NBA history. Bronny getting his first bucket.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you're never going to see it again?
Yeah.
He'll never get another first?
No, he won't.
I just love that we blew through Halloween and Thanksgiving to go straight into Christmas so Bah Humbug Joe could come out.
Oh, yeah. Bah Humbug Joe. So I can wake up to the headline, Bronny gets his first NBA bucket. Woo-wee!
You could keep scrolling. You don't have to read that article.
Well, I'm thinking,
Bronny has earned it.
I'm just
Fred
thinking.
Casera says Bronny doesn't deserve to be in the NBA. He didn't earn to deserve to be in the NBA. He got the spot on the Lakers because the father.
Well, that's no.
And
that's
again,
here
that's
there.
true. Claymore says, "Is this the poop segment yet?"
Well,
I don't know. It's
because
possible.
Claymore doesn't like me talking about his. I guess the James family. It's very special to Claymore. Not sure.
I don't think that Claymore likes it when we talk about poop. But then again, neither do I, to be honest with you. But you find farts funny. And if there's
who doesn't?
if there's a story involving poop, you always want to talk about it. Claymore doesn't like that.
We don't have any poop stories today.
Thank goodness. Although we just did one.
We could probably.
it was.
Oh, nice.
You like that?
Yeah, well played.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well played.
Yeah. Let's talk about weird stuff in Jaylen Hurts' contract coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one and has some fun with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
Now, you don't got a contract. You got nothing to lose. Is a 70-yard field goal in the offing soon? Will we see that this year?
It depends on the win this week.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Trane Heating and Cooling Systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local independent Trane dealer. TraneInfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
The Gomez Law Firm is proud to be San Antonio's trusted personal injury law firm for the past 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us. Your firm has been fighting for the people of San Antonio since 1973. That's incredible.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then turn to the law firm that will fight for you. Visit JoeGomezLaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM. Or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
At Frost, some of our services sound too good to be true. Like the largest ATM network in Texas. Early payday, so direct deposits made to personal checking accounts are available up to 2 days earlier. Having a real live banker to talk to 24/7. Or that time a Frost banker gave a San Antonio restaurant her personal debit card number after a customer's card was mistakenly declined at his business dinner. True story. Frost, exactly what you unexpected.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, I'm releasing your Thursday night report absolutely free on recorded message line. 1-800-244-5506. Houston at New York tonight is going to be a monster game, and I've got the side and total. Houston, New York, confirmed analysis, plus pro hoops and college football. That's 5 big plays. John Anthony has you covered. I love to sweep the board. Call now. Hear him for free on my recorded message. 1-800-244-5506. Information wins. John Anthony Sports, #1 against the spread. 1-800-244-5506. You want the information? I've got it. Houston, New York, plus college football, pro hoops, and special prop action. I love to go 5-0 with the season free. John Anthony Sports, #1 against the spread. 1-800-244-5506. That's 1-800-244-5506. Or go to johnanthonysports.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text STAPLE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text STAPLE to 321-321. That's STAPLE to 321-321.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies, undefeated in the SEC, take on the South Carolina Gamecocks. Presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let's get wild.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Texans, Jets tonight. Make sure you get your picks in for the Pro Football Pick'em Challenge at sasportstar.com. Weekly winners get that gift card over to the Mellow Mushroom. At the end of the year, the local grand prize winner gets $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets.
Great prize. All I've got is that I just want to beat Alexandra on our YouTube page. You know how much trash talk she does?
A lot.
A lot.
But in a very nice way.
Well, yeah.
It's like she rips you a new one and you say thank you.
No, I've never said that. But but it is in a very nice way.
See, and I want to rip you, but it would in a lot of ways be ripping Alexandra, which I don't want to do.
No, she's very sweet.
She is. She's way too nice. But you need a higher bar.
I do?
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, you realize you're so far behind Pledge. You're so far behind me. You're so far.
I'm really not.
You feel like you could beat Alexandra, so that's now your goal. You only want to beat her.
So you guys are in our Pro Football Challenge. What's your number? What's your score?
I'd have to look it up real quick.
See, I know mine.
What is yours?
75.
You're so far behind, it's not even
That's
funny.
ridiculous.
Hang
It's
on.
early.
I can tell you mine really quick. It's early. We're at the midway
It's early.
or around the
Lot of
midway
football
point,
left.
since there really is no midway point. But that's how it goes. So, yeah, get your picks in, sasportstar.com. See if I can I check the leaderboard? Let's see.
Oh, my goodness.
I hate logging in.
Yeah, this is great.
I'm with everybody else. Logging in on this thing kind of sucks.
I'm in fourth.
Well, what does that mean? What's your number? What's your score?
80.
All right, I'm only 5 behind you.
Only 5 behind.
Only 5.
Only 5. That can change in a week.
I mean,
Bam.
it could, but in reality, you're pretty far behind.
Uh-huh. Well, I guarantee you I will have a lead on all of y'all after tonight in this week's picks.
You guarantee that?
Guarantee it, because I know all of y'all.
I'm tied for fourth, too, at 80.
See, there you go. All of y'all are taking the Houston Texans, like the rest of the planet is taking the Houston Texans.
Okay, you keep talking. And again, you might gain a game tonight. I don't think so. I like Houston tonight. I like Houston straight up. I like Houston, obviously, against the spread. There was an interesting story coming out of Philadelphia. Not interesting other than something that Jaylen Hurts said. Because he got to go watch Obama play golf with Saquon.
Right.
Apparently some of the Eagles got to go play golf with with Obama. How cool would that be? You get invited. You get to go play golf.
Absolutely.
Although, Jaylen.
Saquon played, I think.
Yeah, but Jaylen stayed in the cart. And I thought, well, all right. I mean, maybe he just sucks at golf. But apparently, according to Jaylen, he's not allowed to play golf.
Like an uncle figure out there, President Obama, all-time leader, a great presence, and I guess the word is down to earth. Is can only imagine. I can only imagine that that lifestyle and the different things that come with that. But nonetheless, to see him out there enjoying himself and talking a little trash, that was cool. I told him he didn't want these problems just yet. I told him I can't golf right now. It's just by contract I can't golf. But his day will come.
He must really suck at golf if the Eagles don't allow him to play golf.
Now, did he lie to the president? I'm curious if there truly is something in his contract that keeps him from golfing. Now, I know a lot of pro athletes have things in their contracts. Can't ride a motorcycle, can't go snow skiing, can't, jump out of a perfectly good airplane even with a parachute. Golfing? How many quarterbacks play in those challenges? Could you imagine Kansas City? Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, we're going to put in your contract, you're not allowed to play golf anymore. Josh Allen, you're not allowed to play golf anymore. Dak Prescott, not allowed to golf anymore. That seems so ridiculous that it's in his contract that he can't golf.
I don't understand it, but according to the article I read, it is in his contract. He can't play golf or it voids the contract, so he can't do it. And I don't know why they chose golf, or that something his agent overlooked, that it was just he can't play other sports, and they were listed, and golf was in there.
Now, the give and take, you know what? I suck at golf, and I hate the sport. Put that in there.
Yeah.
Right?
So no charity golf tournaments will call me to come play.
Yeah, I can't do that. It's in my contract. Saquon, it's not in your contract. I mean, could you imagine? Mahomes would fire his agent if that was in his deal.
It's golf.
It's
for
golf.
Goodness sake. Nobody's going to get hurt playing golf.
He's going to get hurt.
I don't know. I found that very strange reading that article today, that he couldn't play golf because it's in his contract.
I mean, we're worried about your back, but you know what? We're always going to call that quarterback sneak around the goal line or any short yardage situation.
Push. Yeah.
I'm not worried about your health then. Just get that first down.
Exactly.
But golf course, not allowed in there. And just stay in the cart and drink. I mean, it's kind of like when we're out there.
He can't even do that.
What do you mean he can't even do that?
Can't drink.
Why?
They're in the middle of the season.
Yeah, he can drink.
He can't.
You can't go to a golf course and not drink. Could you imagine, let's go to the golf club of Texas and play around and not have a beer?
Exactly. I can't imagine that. But, Jaylen Hurts is not going to drink beer out on the golf course.
You don't know
now,
that.
Maybe he'll do that in the offseason.
I mean, think about it. And I don't care what your political views are. If you're playing around a golf with Obama or, say, Trump, just because we don't care about political views here, you get a chance to go play golf with the president or former president, you're going to take it.
Sure.
Right? And all of a sudden he wants to do tequila shots. Guess what we're doing? And I don't like tequila. Tequila's not my friend. We're doing tequila shots.
Well, of course you are.
I mean, if let's shotgun a beer. Let's go.
I'm not sure if Obama is a tequila guy or shotgun beer guy.
Doesn't matter. If he says to do it, you're doing it. If he says, let's go play golf, you can't tell it. I can't.
Well,
it's in my contract. That
totally agree.
Dumb.
The problem is, I think Obama's pretty good at golf. And Trump is too, from everything I've seen. So, I mean, maybe he was afraid they're going to take his money.
And again, I show what happened. You're gonna do it. I don't know.
Dude, the best comment on our YouTube page right now comes from Brian O.
Uh-oh.
I think Prescott has his contract every January. He needs to be off.
Shut up.
Well played, Brian O. That was beautiful. He has to be off in January.
Sure. Keep taking your shots.
I love it. That was fantastic.
Is it?
Yes, that was funny as hell.
I mean, Brian is like Reinagel. You love the low-hanging fruit. Sometimes
That
it's
was
too
hilarious.
easy. And it's true. A lot of guys are off every January. Although, I mean, you got to to really make that actual and factual. It's February.
February, yes.
It's February.
Yes.
Because they actually have regular season games in January.
Sorry, Brian. You make Jason cry now.
I'm not going to cry. It is what it is. I mean, it's even when I rip Dak, you guys don't even hear that.
Because you don't really mean it. It's like,
well, I do
have
mean
to
it.
do it for the show.
No,
but
it's
I don't
really true.
mean it. Dak, I'm sorry.
Dak's an average quarterback this year. He's not playing at a high level.
No. He's horrible.
Horrible?
Horrible. 8 picks in 7 games.
Yeah.
6 picks over the last 3.
Uh-huh.
That's horrible.
It is. And you're not getting any kind of argument or defense or excuses or blaming everybody else. I mean, those ones in San Francisco, bad passes, bad decisions.
Horrible. Awful.
Yeah. Not quite Will Levis-like, but close.
Hey, dude, Will Levis sucks. He's awful.
That's your quarterback.
Yeah, whatever. Dude, I mean, you keep going back to that, and that's fine. I'll take that. But I just, Tennessee never expected to do anything anyway, ever.
You were all in on Will Levis.
I thought he would be a better quarterback than he is, yes. I really did. Obviously, I was dead wrong when it comes to Will Levis. Mm-hmm. With Dak, I'm spot on.
Spot on.
I know my bad quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers, bad quarterback, but I've got sucked in again tonight.
I think he's a bum.
You got sucked in.
Sucked in.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really just don't think the Jets lose tonight. I just don't.
It's because you hate the Texans.
No,
Why don't you just be honest about it?
I don't hate the Texans. I don't like Aaron Rodgers. Anybody that watches or listens to this show knows that. Not an Aaron Rodgers fan.
Yeah, but secret closet guy, you're always putting money on him.
Well, it doesn't matter the personal feelings for a player doesn't matter if I have money on him.
Sure, but you tell me how much he sucks, how much he doesn't have it, yet 3 or 4 weeks in a row, you've lost money on that guy as they're on a 5-game losing streak. It's like Joe Burrow, your man crush on that guy.
That's the team that has got me.
And you keep losing money on him.
It's not Burrow's fault.
Oh, of course not. Not at all Burrow's fault.
Not Burrow's fault.
How can it not be Burrow's fault?
He's the quarterback. It's his fault. And yes, the Cincinnati Bengals have cost me money the last 2 weeks. But the Jets have not cost me any money because I have not bet on the Jets this year until tonight.
Mm-hmm. And you'll bitch about it tomorrow.
Oh, I will. You know I will.
You'll bitch about it tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, Mike McCarthy will be on with Rob and AJ on the Morning Huddle, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. And nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast because, of course, you do. The best place to do and the best thing to do is call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747. Or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential, and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
The Morning Huddle.
But I can't master the bidet. There's a hover factor that I haven't quite figured out yet.
Yeah, I don't want no one to show me either.
Yeah, that's one of those you got to learn on your own. You got to do some OJT on this one.
Right,
I'll teach you, man. Yeah.
So what do I do, dude?
Yeah, just you lean forward and then you wiggle a little.
There's an aim that you got to zero in on this. It's like a bombardier during World War II.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text PEC to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text PEC to 321-321. That's PEC to 321-321.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Getting ready for more rain and longer nights? We've got you. Right now, you can earn up to $25 in bonus rewards when you buy 2 Sylvania Silver Star Ultra bulbs and 2 Rain-X Quantum Elite wiper blades. More rewards and better visibility at America's #1 lighting destination, AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Offer valid for AutoZone Rewards members. Restrictions apply.
Get huge savings during the fall sales event at Ancira Nissan on IH-10 West. At Ancira Nissan, lease this 2025 Sentra S for just $218 per month for 36 months. Or this 24 Rogue SV for just $258 per month for 36 months. Stop in or check us out at AnciraNissanSA.com. The fall sales event at Ancira Nissan on IH-10 West between Wurzbach and Heidner.
Testosterone plays a significant role in regulating fat metabolism and distribution in the body. It also helps to reduce serious health risks down the line. I'm Manny with Rock's Discount Vitamins, and we carry the highest quality natural testosterone boosters on the market. It immediately provides you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improves your mood. With 11 San Antonio area locations, find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for all the support.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, I'm releasing your Thursday night report absolutely free on recorded message line. 1-800-244-5506. Houston at New York tonight is going to be a monster game, and I've got the side and total. Houston, New York, confirmed analysis, plus pro hoops and college football. That's 5 big plays. John Anthony has you covered. I love to sweep the board. Call now. Hear him for free on my recorded message. 1-800-244-5506. Information wins. John Anthony Sports, #1 against the spread. 1-800-244-5506. You want the information? I've got it. Houston, New York, plus college football, pro hoops, and special prop action. I love to go 5-0 this season free. John Anthony Sports, #1 against the spread. 1-800-244-5506. That's 1-800-244-5506, or go to johnanthonysports.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on Twitter at Joe Reinagel210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. The station at SA Sports Star. Same for Instagram. If you're watching on YouTube, appreciate it. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. If you're there, hit the thumbs up button.
Please, give us a thumbs up, will you? I like thumbs up.
Lots of good comments in there as well.
Always.
Always interesting.
Yeah, if you've never been to the YouTube page, that's part of the interesting part of it. It's like a little community in there. They've got their own conversations going on.
They do.
Some of them are directed at you and me, but, then sometimes they just talk amongst themselves.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The chat is interesting.
Very. So go join them. Check out what all the excitement is about.
There's even like really bad dad jokes going on in
I
there
know.
today from Gary Murphy. Gary Murphy. Wow.
Are you going to say it?
What's the difference between the Cowboys and $1?
That's pretty funny.
Pledge, did you read it, or are you just excited that you actually figured out the lamest joke out there?
No, I just,
You get 4 quarters out of $1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't read it, but
Although you could say the same about the San Antonio Spurs, especially after last night. My goodness, you didn't even get 2 quarters out of the Spurs last night. Help me out. 210-656-ESPN. It's October. I should not be frustrated by the Spurs.
No, we shouldn't.
It's October. Last night's game freaking pissed me off watching it. And I'm watching this game and I'm trying to figure out why I'm getting angry. And because it's October, they shouldn't make me angry, but last night's game pissed me off. Maybe it was the dudes announcing the game on ESPN because they were dumbfounded. I mean, that was a nationally televised game, and Wemby had the worst game he's had as a Spur. I look at that, and Wemby, year 2 Wemby doesn't get a break. Year 2 Wemby can't have a game like that. When I know you're going to win Defensive Player of the Year, when I know you're in the MVP conversation, you cannot have a game like that if you're a true superstar.
Well, I'm not. Is he in the MVP conversation?
Sure, he's in the
I'm not
MVP
sure about
conversation.
That, but yes, Defensive Player of the Year, yes. And he was awful. Now, the guy has been sick, and I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but it really doesn't matter, right? I mean, he shouldn't play that way. But look, when you watch Oklahoma City, and I know they've had some time to build their team, and with all the draft picks that they have and everything that they've got, but you look at Chet Holmgren, he's got a lot of help around him.
Mm-hmm.
Wemby does not. I mean, he just doesn't. You got Jeremy Sohan taking 16 shots last night. Harrison Barnes, I thought he played pretty well last night. Keldon Johnson, I'm not sure exactly where he is and what he's doing. There's no help. There's nobody there. There's no shooters, nobody that can score. And that's a problem. I mean, it was a 15-point game at halftime. At halftime, Oklahoma City was up 15, and the Spurs, well, they never really sniffed getting any closer.
I mean, and even 15, they weren't that close. Wemby was 1 of 5, 0 of 3 from three-point range. He finishes with 6 points, only a -4 in the plus-minus deal. 8 rebounds. Wemby can't have games like that.
No.
Wemby's the best player on the Spurs team. And Wemby was a pedestrian last night. He was a spectator. He can't have a pedestrian game like that. And especially on national TV. And I don't know if because it was nationally televised, if I was even more offended by what I was seeing from the San Antonio Spurs, but my expectations are a lot higher. I saw Jeff McDonald from the Express News tweet out earlier that, their record being 1-3, when you had Dallas and you had Oklahoma City and you split with Houston, I'm not surprised at the record. But like when we've talked about the Cowboys, I am surprised and alarmed with how they got to that record. I expect a more competitive team. I expect a more balanced team this year. The growth that we sat through last year, I just didn't expect about to say a word that would get me fired, the crap that we saw last night. I was extremely offended by what we were seeing last night. It was horse poop.
Look,
yeah.
We can talk about all of this, and I know Spurs fans out there, they love Jeremy Sohan. Oh, Julian Champagny, he's an up and come. Malachi Branham. Oh, he's there. Who are you scared of? If you're an opponent of the Spurs other than Wemby, you're not. There is nobody out there that's on this roster that scares you.
Sure.
Nobody. And so all your attention, it's just like, you want to compare them to the Cowboys, it's just like that. Defensive, you take CeeDee Lamb away, you're going to beat the Cowboys. Same with Wemby. You take him away, guess what? You're going to win. And that's why I'm trying to figure out, I've been trying to figure out for a long time, and I guess it's the magical year of 2025 that we're all waiting for. So we suffer through another season of mediocrity to below mediocrity again. And I just don't understand it because there's nobody on this team, nobody that anybody is afraid of. Nobody.
Well, and again, there was a Zach Lowe tweet. See if I can pull it up real quick. Talking about the lack of creativity and the plan that other teams seem to have in guarding Wemby. And that's true. Wemby, we saw him be very forceful at the end of last year. We saw a very forceful Wemby in the Olympics. We need that kind of Wemby, and that's something that Zach Lowe had tweeted about. And you're right, there's not a lot of fear. But if they're playing as a team, they're good. You know, Julian is carving out it's true, though. I mean, they can be good. This can be.
Gosh. Well, they can be. I could win the lottery
team
tonight.
Well, no, look, idiot. I mean,
you call me an idiot? Really? Look at this team. There's nobody there.
I said there's not a lot of fear there, but when we see this group playing as a team, our expectations were higher. Why? You know, the other day and in the preseason, we talked about how Julian has carved out a nice NBA career, kind of like a Bruce Bowen. The idea that there should be more production coming from this group, and why aren't they getting it? Games like last night, especially from Wemby, if he didn't feel good because he's sick, sit him down. You know, we're both trying to figure out why Jeremy's taking as many shots, but with Devin Vassell out, he's the only other offense. Keldon Johnson, I don't see how he fits on this team. But it's October. Should I be this upset after what I've seen so far, especially last night against Oklahoma City, a measuring stick kind of team where they're not even close? I thought they would be closer.
I don't know why. There's nobody there. There's nobody there that anybody's afraid of. And you think this team is good. They'll be lucky to win 22 games again with this lineup. You better hope Devin Vassell comes in and provides a spark from the outside because they got nobody. Nobody's there. And you want Sohan taking 16 shots and what, making less than half? That's fine. That's a good team? It's not. They're not. And they go into Utah tonight, and again, who's going to get all the attention? Wemby. Somebody's going to have to step up and make some shots. And I look at that roster, there's nobody there that can. Keldon Johnson is supposed to, but he's not. Sohan's not a shooter. He's not. And so there's nobody else there. They added nothing to help this team. What they were lacking last year was shooters. They've got no shooters this year either. It's the same problem we've had last year going into this year.
How do they fix it? Because, I mean, we both, and correct me if I'm wrong here, we both thought they would be able to compete for a play-in this year. Neither one of us said they were a playoff team, but I didn't think they were a 20-win team again. And they are looking like they looked last year. They are looking more like a lottery team than a team that is getting better. And I think part of that, too, Pop said this year is about winning.
He did, and it's not going to be. I mean, anybody, we sit here and all get our hopes up and think, well, maybe a play-in. Maybe that's there. And maybe it will turn into that when you get some players like Trey Jones and Vassell back. But again, I know the Chris Paul professor part of it, everybody's excited about it. He's going to teach these guys. And it's all about the magical 2025. I don't know about you, but I'm sick of waiting. Let's go. And why they didn't add more to this team this year is beyond me. I said it before. I'll say it again. I don't get it because Chris Paul's not the answer. He's a teacher. He's a coach. But he's Chris Paul that is at the end of his career. He's not the answer. Harrison Barnes, he'll help, but he's not the answer. So you're biding your time again, hoping beyond hope that they get in the lottery again and get lucky again. Maybe they will.
Well, you look at all the picks they have, especially Atlantis, that unprotected pick. And you look at tonight's game. Utah's winless on the year. If there was ever a get-right game, and maybe that's why Wemby isn't on the injury report. Second night of a back-to-back coming off the crap game that he had last night, I kind of thought we would see Wemby show up on the injury report and not play tonight. Do you think Pop is looking at tonight's game as, well, this is a winnable game, and, man, this team needs a win?
I mean, I would hate to give Utah their first win. That would be devastating, I think. And then it's time is it time after 5 games to throw the panic button? I mean, that's last night was terrible.
And we're not overreacting to one game. Hey, Brian, you're on Blitz, 210-656-ESPN. What's going on, man?
Hey, guys. Just want to let y'all know y'all doing great. I listen to y'all every day. So I have a couple of things about the Spurs. Every time Wemby gets the ball, this dude passes it right back to the point guard and then tries to get the ball right back when he has a smaller guy on. Why doesn't Wemby just go to work, try to score in the basket? And I get Zohan's not a shooter, but he can score in the paint. If you look the way they both play, Zohan goes towards the paint, Wemby just hangs around the three-point line. And I get Wemby can shoot and all that, but this dude's 4 for 21 on the season already. And for them to be for them not even to show that Pop doesn't want to put Wemby in the center, which means, obviously near the basket, this dude is just moping around the three-point line and thinking he's KD, which he could be eventually, but he's not.
Well, I mean, he shot the three pretty well last year. I mean, and this year he's off to a bad start shooting threes, but we know that's part of his arsenal. That's part of his game. And, I don't know that – I know he added some weight, added some muscle, but he can't play center all the time. I mean, but part of his game is stretching the floor. That's what he does.
He took 5 shots last night. 5.
Which isn't enough.
No, it's not even close to enough. He's your star. Stars score. Stars shoot. Even if he's having a bad night, you feed him the basketball. You get him the ball, not Jeremy Sohan. Wembanyama, he's the guy. That's who you feed. He's your superstar. Nobody else on that team is even close.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. It's one of those nights where you might fire up the grill since you got a lot of kids coming over for Thanksgiving this weekend, obviously, with all the football. Before you do fire up that grill, make sure you get into Tri-County Meat Market. Locally owned, full service. Everything you need to up your grilling game, they have for you there at Tri-County Meat Market. Beef, chicken, pork, fajitas, poppers, so much more. Tri-County has what you need with the quality you expect, and you can always take advantage of their Pick 5 offer. And you also want to get into Tri-County Meat Market and get your pre-order in for your Thanksgiving dinner. That turkey that you can get from Tri-County Meat Market is living a great life right now at Barber Farms in Colorado. These fresh, all-natural turkeys are never frozen, and they come between 8 and 24 pounds. Tri-County only gets a limited number, so reserve your turkey today before they sell out. You can also pre-order your pies from the Ultimate Cheesecake Bakery at either of the Tri-County Meat Market locations. On Ralph Fair Road and on Huebner, online at tricountymeat.com.
Riding 1604 with the Blitz.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday at noon, the back-to-back road trip ends in Atlanta with the boys taking on the Falcons.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 11. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
You asked for it, you got it. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at H-E-B today.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I didn't want to call Bobo and have to have a confrontation.
Just make a change?
Yeah, because you're so bitchy.
We do it all the time.
You're so bitchy, Bobo.
You always want to
Do you realize how bitchy you are? And I don't want to fight with you.
You know, you calling me bitchy would be like me calling you a fat bastard. You know, that's projection, dude.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-299-1058. 800-299-1058. Again, that's 800-299-1058. Coverage, deductibles, and claims may vary. For details, go to EnduranceWarranty.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Thursday Night Football tonight. C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans in New York to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. You can catch that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 6:30. Brandon Aubrey, the Dallas Cowboys kicker, done with jury duty, but not until he found the defendant guilty of felony assault, sentenced him to 65 years. He's also changed agencies. Aubrey becomes a free agent in 2026.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Halloween. 4 o'clock. When did the kids start going around the neighborhoods? About 5:30?
I guess.
Do you wait till it gets dark?
I'd prefer that, but, shouldn't they change the time a little sooner so it is dark?
No, we don't want them to. Well, do you take the kids out while it's still light? The little ones.
It depends on how old they are, right? I mean, if they're young kids, I guess you can go around, but not this. This is too early. Can't be before like 6, can it?
I don't know.
I wouldn't think so.
It's crazy because, you in all those years in television, you were never home.
No.
When this was going on.
No, not at all.
And when this show went till 7, I wouldn't get home till 7:30. Now we're done at 6, so you get home at 6:30. But generally speaking, you drive home and you got to avoid and watch out for all the kids that are just running across the street.
I know it. It is bad. But I would assume, I don't know what time is. If somebody's a parent out there and you know what time, let us know. But
5:30, 5:36, 6:30.
Got to be 5:30 at least. Say 6. I mean, let people have some dinner for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Before you come banging on the door.
But don't go to Joe's door.
Well, you can go there if you want.
The light's gonna be off.
You can go there. That's fine. Knock away.
Knock away.
You'll get a nice dog barking at you.
Yeah?
Yeah, you will. The dog will bark.
Do you guys put up the dogs?
No.
Tonight, throw them in the backyard?
No. Well, they're going to bark out there. So it's either they bother us and the neighbors or just us.
I know you. Bother the neighbors.
Right, they'll be candy, but just typically there's not a lot of kids in this particular neighborhood. So I don't expect it. We had none last year. I don't know. Maybe there'll be 1 or 2 this year. Who knows?
Vince says 5:30 in his neighborhood over in Alamo Ranch.
5:30, huh?
See, that seems early.
That's early. It really is early. But if you got little kids, I can see that. If you're, 7 or under, 5 and under, whatever, you take them around. And then you're home for the bigger kids to knock on your door.
Well, that's it. I'm trying to remember.
What time you going trick-or-treating, Pledge? Are you an early guy? As soon as you get off, you're trick-or-treating?
Yeah, sure, whenever I get off. Let's go with that.
Okay.
That Pledge is walking by at 11 p.m. Your light's on, bumming.
Exactly. What does Pledge ask for? Beer?
What time do you want me to swing by?
Yeah, well, don't. You can swing by anytime you want.
Trick or treat.
Knock
Trick
away.
or treat. Flight by Yingling.
I'd give you one of those, Pledge. Sure.
Did you ever have any of those good sayings when you were a kid?
No. Nobody said that.
Trick or treat?
Well, you say that.
Trick or treat. Smell my feet. Give me something good to eat.
Did you ever say that
if
at a
you don't,
door?
I don't care. I'll pull down your underwear.
Did you ever say that at a door, though?
Probably not.
I wouldn't think so. Because I'd have told you. I'd have pulled the shoe off and flipped you off.
We've already proven you can't do that.
Yeah, but a kid doesn't know that.
Well, that's true. Kid's going to just be offended by the side of your foot, not what you're doing with your toes.
That's right. And Mom and Dad say, well, wait a minute. What the hell are you doing in there, you pervert? That's my boy.
What? Huh?
Yeah, well, you got to be careful. You don't want some pervert pulling his shoes off where the kids are at the door.
I'm glad you said shoes.
Yes. Well, I wouldn't pull off anything else.
Well,
I'm a respectable dude. I'm not going to do that.
You want to see the photos on our Instagram of you yesterday and tell me you're respectable?
No, there's no kids around.
You don't know that.
Well,
both your daughter and my daughter, one of your daughters.
Well, neither one of them are kids, so they're
Well, they're not,
grown,
but they're still daughters. They're still our kids.
They're grown
They were
women.
both highly offended by you taking your shoes off on the radio, which is kind of random, but you put your feet on the internet.
Honestly, if you, you know my daughter, Cassidy, she fully expects that. She'd have been surprised if I didn't do it. I used to do that all the time.
Do what all the time?
Flip them off with my toes.
Really?
Sure. They get it. Trying to figure out who this girl on TV is trying to be there.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I have no idea.
It is fairly distracting.
Yeah, she's a clown show.
No, she was, what's her name? The Australian breakdancer that went viral.
Is that what that is?
Well,
Okay. It's just as bad as what we saw at the Olympics.
Laser gun or whatever. her
Yeah,
name
but
is.
Ray gun.
you kind of have to make sure people know who the hell you are. I mean, you got Beetlejuice here. What's that dude's name? The guy that's been there forever?
Michael Keaton?
No, this guy, the
Woody Page.
Woody Page is dressed as Beetlejuice.
Which looks like every other day except for he put on makeup.
No kidding. He could have just gone without anything. He's like,
Aren't you glad we don't dress up on the radio?
yeah, I'm happy about it.
I mean, we used to lie and just tell people we were in the extraordinary costumes, but now we're on video. People see it on YouTube, on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel.
Well, I'm not sure who any of these people are. I know Beetlejuice, and then it's like what's the name of the show?
This is the Blitz.
No, well, not this show. The one that's on ESPN right
I
now.
have no idea. This is great radio, though.
Well, I'm just saying. They shouldn't have dressed up. They're making fools out of themselves.
Well, I mean, he spent hours.
Well, somebody did.
In the makeup chair.
He didn't. Yeah.
But it's a TV show. TV shows feel like they have to do that. Didn't you have to dress up at times at Ken's Five?
No, never did.
You never did?
Hey. We didn't do that on the air. We're respectable.
Seriously?
Seriously. Nobody ever dresses up. Now, Bill Taylor would do the headless weatherman.
Yeah.
Right? But he was the only one.
I thought you were dressed as Ron Burgundy.
Never.
Oh.
Never.
You sure?
That's the Bill Taylor show.
Oh.
That's as every newscast is, by the way. The Bill Taylor show.
Corey Shale on YouTube says, instead of 10 toes down, Joe is 10 toes up.
That's right. Well, only one, actually. Sticking up, flipping you off.
One erect toe.
One erect toe. Yep. No Viagra involved. It's just erect.
Not sure where to go with that.
There is nowhere to go with that.
There's nowhere to go with that. Coming up, some interesting news out of UTSA when it comes to their NIL. Plus, we'll give away some tickets to go see UTSA in Memphis Saturday in the Alamo Dome. Stephen Jones, John Machota, all coming up here on The Blitz, here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
You invited Dak and Coop over to the house. What Mama cooked?
She never disappoints.
Well, what was the meal? We're really curious.
Well, she had the local pizza, salads, pasta dish, chicken.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, let me tell you about Connecticut Quality Water Softeners. Got one in my house, and I love it. I tell you what, it is really the best in the business. That's what they say. I was skeptical, but I tell you what, it is as advertised. Connecticut Quality Water Softeners, well, they've been serving San Antonio and South Texas for over 50 years. It is the most popular water softener on the market, and the best thing about it is it does not run on electricity. It's all that kinetic stuff. But however it works, it provides soft water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You feel better, your food tastes better, all of that kind of stuff. Your dishes are cleaner, clothes, everything. And for a limited time, right now, when you purchase a new Connecticut quality water softener, you're going to get a reverse osmosis drinking station installed at your kitchen sink for free. For free. If it's free, it's for me, right? Purified water right at your kitchen sink. Everything is going to taste better. Your coffee, your tea, your food. Everything is going to taste better. This is for a limited time, so do not wait. Financing is available, and they do have a rental program. If you want to rent a water softener, you can do that as well. All you have to do is get the ball rolling, and to do that, you give them a call, 656-PURE, 656-7873, or ConnecticutSA.com. You know the jingle, sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Connecticut.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Significant role in regulating fat metabolism and distribution in the body. It also helps to reduce serious health risks down the line. I'm Manny with Rock's Discount Vitamins, and we carry the highest quality natural testosterone boosters on the market. It immediately provides you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improves your mood. With 11 San Antonio area locations, find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for all the support.
If you're a man and you live in or around the San Antonio area, you need to listen to this message. Do you find yourself stressing about or even avoiding intimate moments? Do you find yourself thinking, is it going to work? Does your partner look at you and ask, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you get frustrated when things don't live up to their expectations? Men, you're not alone, and we have a solution. For over a decade, Mojo has delivered 100% guaranteed male performance results. Mojo truly works every single time. Guys, Mojo works when all other things fail, and its proprietary formula has helped thousands of men live their best lives again. Yeah! Mojo is 100% natural, blood pressure safe, diabetic friendly, and fast acting. And Mojo is now available in both spray and capsule formulas, exclusively at Pure Line Nutrition. Call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today at 210-494-2210. That's Pure Line Nutrition, 210-494-2210.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, if you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast. So, for any kind of office,
I'm really going places in my office.
count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's football season, and you know the best place to watch games is at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road, with those three massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. College, pro, the games are on at the Roo. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Hey guys, it's AJ. I'm here to tell you about SA Card House, San Antonio's premier card house. They're now accepting new memberships. They're open 7 days a week. Great atmosphere, great vibe, great food, great service. All skill levels welcome. Stop by. Check them out online, sacardhouse.com.
It's football season, and now you can get anything you need for game day delivered with Uber Eats. Well, almost anything. You can't get a running back, but baby back ribs? Yes. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies, undefeated in the SEC, take on the South Carolina Gamecocks. Presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Happy Halloween.
Or happy Thursday, whatever you want to look at it. If you're celebrating Halloween, have fun. Just be safe, all right? I want you back here tomorrow.
Doesn't everybody kind of celebrate Halloween to a degree?
I don't know that everybody does. I guess most people do.
I mean, in your office tomorrow, there's going to be candy. People will bring candy to work.
I was surprised that there wasn't an office full of people dressed up in here today.
Yeah.
I really was. But, you know.
But I'm sure it's 4:18. They've already left.
Well,
they're going home getting ready. All the moms have already left the building.
They left a hell of a lot earlier than now.
Sure. Well, I walk in at 2. I have no idea who's over there. But
I didn't see anybody in there.
Yeah, they're gone. Interesting email today or announcement from UTSA about their NIL stuff, and we've talked a lot this week about the NIL and everything they're doing. It's called Runners United. Game-changing NIL initiative at uniting community and opportunity for student athletes. But all this really is creating an umbrella and really trying to make sure if you're donating to one, it is going where you think it's going. Because essentially there's been 3 collectives since the NIL stuff has started, and people can be confused by it. So this new one is basically an umbrella of the 3, where 2-0 Inspired, which is the one that April Ansira and Martin Salinas started, that is now football only. Runners Rising is all the other sports. And then City Fans is the events like the kickoff and tip-off luncheon.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. Most of that money was probably going to football anyway, wasn't it? I know there's some other sports that get some NIL money, but hey, if this makes it more streamlined and people know exactly when you donate to whichever specific collective, you know exactly where your money's going. 210 Inspired, you know it's going to the football program, and so on and so forth. So you can maybe better decide that way where you want to donate your money.
Well, and again, I think for some, if you said, well, I donated to Runners Rising, but if you thought that money was going to football, apparently it wasn't. So this is a little bit more streamlined, trying to make it where it is. And then I go back to what Jeff Traylor was talking about Monday on the Blitz. In July of 25, when the revenue sharing starts, all these collectives may go away, maybe they don't, or the way they're all structured is going to be a little bit differently. And also, they've got that Roadrunner Athletic Fund. Apparently now, if you've been donating to the Roadrunner Athletic Fund, you get points. Everything has a reward system. You get points in some way that will now, if you donate to the others, those count towards your points for the Roadrunner Athletic Fund. If you know what that means, you probably know what that means. If you don't, you're like me. All right, cool. There's a reward system for donations.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look, whatever helps, keep the players that Traylor has here now and maybe lure some others in, because it is all about money for the most part. There are exceptions, obviously, and probably more than we think, because all we hear about are the guys that are making the money. But
sure.
Look, you got to have it these days. It's unfortunately the way of the world, and that's where we're at.
That's where we are. We do know UTSA's got a big home game on Saturday, 11 a.m., national television game, blackout game. They're calling it lights out. They need to pack the dome. You need to be there. Go UTSA.com to get your tickets. We've got a pair of tickets that we'll give away right now. 11 a.m. kickoff. We'll give them to caller number 11 at 210-656-ESPN. 656-3776. Caller 11. You win a pair of tickets to see UTSA in Memphis this Saturday in the Alamo Dome. Again, kickoff at 11 a.m.
Ought to be a lot of fun in the Dome. 11 a.m. Jeff Traylor says he's never had a home game start at 11 o'clock before in his college career. So this will be a first. History will be made. Maybe they'll give him the goalpost as a reward, kind of like they did with Bronny and the net last night.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe not. The goalpost?
It's history.
I mean, if we
Or
beat
the kicking tee or something.
we beat Memphis, make sure he's got an alarm clock,
Yeah.
and a mimosa in the post-game press conference.
Yeah, he may need that. Hopefully not. It be a celebratory mimosa and not one that is going to drown his sorrows.
Well, I tell you, I mean, the UTSA season not going as planned. A lot of reasons for that. In a lot of ways too, I look at the Cowboys season not going as planned. A lot of injuries there. Earlier in the show, like right as we started the show, we talked with Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys and started there, trying to figure out the whys on this season not going as expected.
Yeah, I think it's just full body of work. I mean, you got to, there's several moving parts. And by the way, the world's smallest violin I know is out there in terms of anybody feeling sorry for, what we're about or, the struggles that we're having. But, in general, you take into an account, defensively, we do have some challenges. And, when you don't have your top 4 pass rushers and 2 of your top 4 corners and your middle linebackers playing a little one-armed, and, that's, you understand that a little bit, but it's still no excuse. And then, offensively it is, you look at it and you go, why? And that's what we're trying to figure out here. How do we get better? I mean, obviously we got, we put our money where our mouth is. One of the best, if not the best, quarterback in the league, and I know a lot of people would argue the best, but he's certainly one of them. And just got one of the best receivers in the league signed up, and we think we've got good quality offensive linemen, albeit some of them young, and so a little bit of that is something that you do ask a lot of hard questions as to, why we're a little inconsistent on the offensive side of the ball. But, one thing, I will consistently keep saying, and it's very fair that our fans are frustrated, very fair that, certainly we can be questioned about decision-making. Bill Parcells used to say, you are what you are. And we're a 3-4 football team, which is below average. And so we've got to figure out how to right that ship. But I do think we got the right kind of people in our building. I mean, we got a Super Bowl winning coach. We've got Mike Zimmer, who's been on Super Bowl team, head coach teams that went to NFC championship games. Between the 2 Mikes, we've got really good coaches, one of the best special teams coaches in the league. And then, like I said, between guys like Dak Prescott and Zach Martin and, that type of a group over there, men in the locker room, I just think we got the right kind of guys who will continue to grind, do things the right way, and ultimately, hopefully things can get better. Obviously, at the last 3 years, we've done really well early and often and had great seasons, but we certainly, hadn't finished well, and hopefully this will be a reversal of roles. We'll start a little slow here, which we certainly have, and acknowledge that and understand the frustration with our fans, but hopefully we'll right the ship and finish fast.
Stephen, I want to ask you, Jerry said something on his radio show the other day that about Dak Prescott and running the football. He hasn't been doing a lot of that, and Jerry said that's okay, that you guys really don't want him to run the football a lot. When I look at Dak, though, he looks a little bit different. Are you concerned at all about that ankle or any kind of injury with Dak Prescott?
No, I just think it's Dak being smart and picking the right times. I think, if he needs to, he will. And obviously we're needing to win some games, and he knows that. And, at the right time, there's a time to do it. You look around the league, and guys who do run the football on a regular basis get hurt. And so we have coached Dak and to be smart about when you pick and choose your chances to run the ball. But I think Dak athletically is fine.
Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys joining us here on the Blitz. Stephen, with the trade deadline coming up, what do you think the odds are that you guys will be players in trying to improve this roster at the deadline?
Well, we're always trying to. It's got to make sense, and there's a lot of moving parts to what makes sense. I mean, we obviously think we've got, our two corners coming back, and we also think we're going to have, 3 of our 4 top defensive ends coming back and in due time. And, so the outlook injury-wise is positive, but at the same time, if we saw the right player who could help improve our situation right now, we'd certainly look at it and do it if it made sense.
Just real quick, Stephen, Micah Parsons, is there a chance that he could be on the field Sunday?
I think, he's got a shot, but I would call it a long shot.
Okay.
A long shot. Now, it is Halloween, Stephen. I'm curious at the Jones house, what kind of candy are you guys passing out tonight, and are you dressing up?
I'll have to check in with who runs my house, which would be my wife. And I now have grandkids who get a hand in that as well. So I'll just be glad to be there and pass it out. And, when you're going through a little rough patch like we are right now, looking at some young kids with big smiles getting candy and dressed up does give you one respite from what is a little rough patch for us right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you dress up tonight? Does she have the whole family get together and put on costumes?
I may dress up like a Western cowboy. Put my cowboy hat on and go to work. Right now, if I dress up as a Dallas Cowboy, even some little kids may throw some eggs at me.
Stephen Jones, go smile tonight.
Yeah,
have some fun passing out that candy. Appreciate you jumping on with us here in San Antonio.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. Stephen Jones on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. He's worried about getting eggs through.
I don't blame him. But, you got to figure Stephen Jones lives in a very schwanky neighborhood.
Yeah.
It
better be full-size candy bars coming from the Jones house.
And, you can't afford eggs these days. So, if they're throwing eggs, they got to be rich.
Hey, kids aren't buying the eggs. They don't know.
Well, that's true. But it's it's a swanky neighborhood.
Well, of course.
Can just like if I lived in Dallas somewhere around there, just you can't drive in there and go trick or treat at Stephen Jones' house.
It's interesting. I kind of know where Jerry lives. It's not gated.
Oh, really?
He's
not a guard or
he's got security. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it some of those, like San Antonio's just got gated neighborhood after gated neighborhood after gated, which honestly is a false sense of security.
It really is.
There's nothing secure unless you're living in one of those neighborhoods that has like a live gate guard. It ain't secure.
Yeah.
Right. Dallas really isn't that way. In a lot of ways, neither is Houston in certain areas. Now, but yeah, I would imagine that's a neighborhood where a lot of people, bring the kids over and let's go walk in this neighborhood because you're getting full-size candy bars.
Hey, I would do that. Why not? Dress up and park the car out where nobody sees that and just walk up there and knock on the door and hope you get some.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Did they have better candy or would it be the same as everybody else?
Looking at YouTube, Jason Elizondo on our YouTube channel says 35 times Stephen said, in that interview.
Yeah, I'm sure he was counting.
Don Harris from News 4 says over-under on Stephen Jones, I think about 30 in that one answer.
Yeah. It's nuts. He says he does say that a lot, But, hey, at least he's got a sense of humor about the Cowboys not doing well and kids throwing eggs at him. And I guess what are you going to do? You got to have a sense of humor, I guess.
You're either going to laugh or you're going to cry.
That's it.
Right? Because I just don't know if this year is about winning. It'll be interesting to see if they make a move at the trade deadline. He says if it makes sense.
If it makes sense. And I just wonder, now the trade deadline is what, the 11th? It's somewhere in that neighborhood. So if the Cowboys lose to the Falcons, would they be sellers at the trade deadline? If there's anybody on that team that anybody wants.
We'll find out. Let's talk about it. John Machota from The Athletic will join us next to talk about the Cowboys and Falcons here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday on the Morning Huddle, Spurs at a back-to-back in Utah. We'll look at what happened. How'd the Texans do last night? And how will the Cowboys do this weekend? Plus all the football coming up. It's the Morning Huddle. Starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Hey, dude, you didn't tell me that you wrecked it, and it looks wrecked. How much was the insurance check? $8,000. Yeah, did y'all spend it on fixing it, or did you put it in your pocket? Well, you know, my cousin, just stop there.
Stop.
Just stop there. All I needed to know is $8,000 insurance and a cousin.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
George gets justice.
Hurt in a wreck? Get George. Hit by an 18-wheeler or commercial truck? Get George. Injured at work? Get George. When you're dealing with personal injury, you need to get George because George gets justice. I'm George Salinas, and my San Antonio-based firm has been recognized across the state of Texas and the United States. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Jason Minix here from the Blitz for Underdog Fantasy, the place to play if you're a sports fan looking to win money while watching sports. And I love playing the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy, where you can win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. Think basketball, think football. You can mix, you can match across your other favorite sports and leagues and win money watching sports. And this season, Underdog will be running a special promo or bonus almost every single day, like Profit Boost. Pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts, you'll get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at the win, and they're basically a sure thing with their free picks. A player just has to get higher than 0.5 for that stat pick to win. All new users get a free pick. So download the app, sign up with promo code STAR, and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Promo code STAR. Must be 18 or over, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Howdy, Ags. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, inviting you to watch all A&M games at the Angry Elephant at 281 and Redland Road. Owned by Chip Ingram, class of 98, the Angry Elephant is known for their liberal cocktails at conservative prices and the best hot dog in Texas. Since 2012, the Angry Elephant's been the place to watch A&M, and this year is no different. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Rue Pub at 281 and Redland Road. The Angry Elephant. Like your bar, love your Aggies. Gig 'em.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. clients, one call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. We normally visit with John Machota of The Athletic on Fridays, but he's going to Atlanta early. So
Why is he going to Atlanta?
It's a fun weekend.
Okay.
I don't know.
Why
we
not?
can ask him. Machota on a Thursday joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Why are you going to Atlanta early, John?
Oh, get in town, go to Magic City. No, it's not about it's not about the Atlanta as much, but it is a sports related thing. And I think I've told you guys before, I'm a pretty big Florida State football fan.
Yeah.
And this has obviously been a terrible season for them, but before the season started, I got some tickets with a friend to go to their game this weekend. And so I'm flying into Atlanta, but I'm driving down to Tallahassee for the game on Saturday and then driving back after the game. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fun weekend.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Fun weekend. Will you have more fun watching your favorite team lose on Saturday or watching my favorite team lose on Sunday?
Whew. It's funny too. Both games, the line is 2.5 points. So yeah, that is pretty good comparison there. I do think the Cowboys have a better chance of winning on Sunday. I'm not picking the Cowboys to win just because of the way that things have been kind of trending, but it wouldn't completely surprise me if they won the game. Like I do think they've played better on the road. I don't even think it's up for debate than they have played at home, and so that's a positive for them. But I do think this Atlanta team's better than some of the Atlanta teams that they've beaten in previous seasons. And so I think they're going to have their hands full there with Kirk Cousins. And Kyle Pitts looks like he's finally becoming the player that I think a lot of people thought he was going to be when he got drafted in the top 10. And then obviously Bijan Robinson's a monster that it's hard to believe that this Cowboys defense is going to keep him in check. And, there's that hope that, they're going to get this help from injured players, but I don't see it being this week. I mean, you're not getting Nealon back this week. You're not getting Lawrence. It doesn't look like Micah Parsons is going to be back. And then now you're dealing with injuries that, maybe Trayvon Diggs misses this game. We don't know for certain on Deron Bland. So they're still bit pretty hard by this injury bug. So I don't love the Cowboys' chances, but obviously they have a better chance than they did
I think
last weekend in San Francisco.
I think so, John. We had Stephen Jones on with us a few minutes ago, and he was talking about Micah Parsons being a long shot to return this week. So it doesn't look like he's going to be back. But the only thing that it may be a good game for the Cowboys to get right on the offensive side, simply because the Falcons don't have a pass rush. Dak ought to have a little bit more time to get some things done.
I agree. And then also the fact that every game, I feel like Dak and CD are closer to what they were towards the end of last season when everything was really clicking for them. And Dak mentioned today when we talked to him that even there was a point in the second half of that game in San Francisco before CD's, the 2 touchdown drives that CD capped off, that CD made a note to Dak on the side where he even mentioned to him that, I think we're back, to what they were before, in previous seasons. So, hey, it's easy to sit there and look at this team and go, man, it took them to start off 3-4 before, these top 2 players finally got it clicking, but it appears that there is in as good of a rapport as we've seen from this season, and that hasn't really been great this year. So I think that's a big part of it too. But for me, it all starts with that offensive line. They've had all these communication issues, and that's been a big storyline this week. I imagine it'll be pretty loud in Atlanta. It's obviously an indoor venue, and the Falcons are playing pretty well. So that's the spot that, even if there isn't a great pass rush from the Falcons, if there isn't great communication up front, I think any team can cause them problems.
John Machota from The Athletic joining us here on the Blitz 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. The idea that Dak Prescott isn't running the ball this year, even when it looks like the opportunity is there and a first down could be had if he would just use his legs. You go with what Jerry said on 105.3 The Fan this week. They don't want to risk him running the ball and getting hurt. Steven earlier today said he could. Dak says, do you expect to see Dak run the ball, or is this year he's just not allowed to, or do you think he's dealing with something that is preventing him from running?
It's funny because I think for a lot of teams this wouldn't be a factor, but covering the Cowboys, I expect Dak to run more this week because it's become a big storyline. I really do. I mean, that's just the way the Cowboys are. A lot of times when something's a big storyline, whether it's CD's not getting as many targets or Brandon Cooks isn't getting many targets, usually like the next game, that's a big part of the game plan. And so I'm not saying Dak's going to run 6-7 times, but I wouldn't be surprised if he runs 4 or 5 times in this game because it's become such a thing of like, why is this not been a part of your game when it's been such a notable part, certainly in college and even early on in his career. And so it does sound like, that is something that they're talking about as well, in the meeting rooms, and Dak was adamant that there's nothing physically holding him back. I just have always thought, since that 2020 gruesome ankle injury and just how long it took him to get back from that and get right from that and the multiple surgeries he had, and that was on a run play, that I've always felt like that's probably a little bit of a factor with him, where it's like, okay, risk reward here. Is me getting 6 yards here and potentially getting hurt really worth it? But I do think where this season's headed I feel like this game, and he said it too today, that this is a must-win game for them on Sunday, just because you lose this one, you just keep falling further and further behind from, even wild card contention. And so because of that, and because they're getting to a point where their backs are starting to get against the wall, if they really do think they have a chance of making the playoffs, you're going to have to pull some different things out. And so that's why I do think Dak's going to run more this week.
John, that brings up an interesting point, and I'm curious to hear what you think about that, because, you asked Steven, you asked Jerry about being players before the trade deadline. If the Cowboys lose this game against the Falcons, could they be players in the opposite? Could they be sellers, perhaps, before the trade deadline?
I just can't see that happen, and I can't see Jerry being a seller at this point in his life for any of their seasons in the future, and I certainly can't see him doing it when he's got a coach who's in the final year of their deal. If anything, I go back to 2019, and I thought it was such a big deal that they got Zeke signed, because I felt like that was Jerry being like, I want to see if this can really work with Jason Garrett going into that final year of his deal. And for his offense to work, it has to have this big running game, and we can't allow Zeke to sit out and potentially miss games. We need Zeke on the field for Garrett to have the most possible success, and so they got that done. And this season, you don't get that same feeling. Yeah, they got Dak signed and CD signed, but those players are going to be on the field anyway. There really hasn't been those additions to really kind of put this team over the top to try and really give Mike McCarthy the best chance to have success in the final year of his contract. And so because of that, maybe this is the only reason why I think a trade could potentially happen is just because, generally speaking, when the Cowboys make notable moves like that, it's kind of when you least expect it. Even you go back to the Amari Cooper trade. Yeah, they need another receiver. Nobody thought they'd give up a 1 for Amari Cooper during that bye week. Like the Cowboys moves that they make are generally the ones that happen when you're not really expecting it. And I don't expect a trade to happen for the Cowboys before the deadline. And maybe that will be the thing that maybe they are talking about something, and maybe something is there to be had. My issue with that, and I'll turn this right back to you guys on this, is there really a spot where just one player makes this team that much better? Like wide receiver, they're not going to trade for somebody on the offensive line. I guess defensive tackle, but there's not really that one position that I go, okay, well, this fixes everything.
There's not that fixes everything, but I don't know, a real running back that could actually be a running back in the NFL does help a lot on the offense. And I go back to, again, Jerry on Tuesday on the Fan up there in Dallas said that his all-in comment was getting Dak and CD signed. Okay, if that's true and the timing of it, he could have done those deals then and had money in to spend in free agency or to do some other things to improve this roster. He waited to kind of fool us and thinking he was handcuffed financially. They don't make any trades. This year, to me, isn't about winning for Jerry. It's a reset. He's got his quarterback, his receiver. He'll get Micah, and he's looking at years beyond with whatever the new coaching staff is going to want.
From my perspective, I think Jerry's definition of all in has changed throughout since when you go back to the first time he said it there at the end of January in Mobile at the Senior Bowl till when he said it most recently. I don't think that his definition has stayed the same, because I think when he said it in Mobile, I think it was that they weren't going to really, like, I think that they were always going to get CD done, but I did not think that meant, I thought that they were all in and like, hey, we want to see what we have in Dak too. And I think as the offseason played along, more people that Jerry talked to, the more it became, we can't possibly let Dak go through the season without him signed and just let him go to free agency. And so at the 11th hour, they get that done. But I do not believe that that was the plan all offseason. So I believe that Jerry's all-in definition has changed. And so he can use that as an example because they got those two deals done. So it sounds like that's the case after the fact. But I don't believe that that was the case back in January because, like you said, if it was and you were all in, you'd get both those guys signed, and then you'd go and use some of that cap space to make some moves. And no one's talking about, oh, yeah, add some defensive ends or some D tackles on 5-year deals. We understand that you can't afford something major like that, but make somewhat of an impact more than Eric Kendricks. And, again, you can do this on 1-year deals that won't impact anything beyond this season. And so because of that, I think the definition's changed over the months.
Boy, that's interesting. And I'll go back to what you just said a few minutes ago, John. I mean, there's so many issues to fix. And if the Cowboys aren't big spenders in the free agent market next offseason, I can't see this thing being fixed. You're going to go in the draft and rely on young guys again next season. I think if that's the case, what Jason just said, this is a 2 or 3 year project at best.
It could be. The only thing if just be counterpoint on that, I will say that in this league of parity, if you bring in a coaching staff, they're probably going to do stuff a lot differently than what they've been doing for the last 5 years. And so there is a little bit of that unpredictability that you get on your side because you do have a new coaching staff, and you probably will draft a little differently. And it wouldn't surprise me if they did do a few extra moves in the offseason that better fit whatever that coaching staff wants. And so because of that, yeah, I don't know that the following season they'll get back to the 12-win team that they were before that, but I could see them having more success and being a little bit more unpredictable just because the roster changes. Because I maintain that with a nucleus of Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons, like, it should never be a 5-6 win team. That should be an 8-9 win team every single year if those guys are healthy. Obviously, Mike hasn't been this year, but they are going to get him back. So because of that, maybe you get a spark from a different staff, and maybe that's what leads to it. But yeah, that's the only way that I can come up with it being any better after this season.
John Machota from The Athletic here on the Blitz. You mentioned Dak in the record. When you look at Dak Prescott, and I know there's a lot of people listening right now that think he's garbage, shouldn't be there, he's awful, and blah, blah, blah. He was second in MVP voting last year. He's been average at best this year. Where do you see the drop-off from Dak Prescott a year ago to what we've seen so far this season, being the second year in that Mike McCarthy offense?
Oh, that's so easy for me. That there is absolutely no run game at all. Like, if it was middle of the pack run game, he would not look this bad. But for them to have the NFL's worst run game, there's nothing about their run game that opponents have to honor and be nervous about. And when you take that away, no quarterback's going to be successful like that. I'm telling you, I say this all the time to people in Detroit because that's most of my friends and family live up that way. I'm telling you, Jared Goff has it great with that offensive line. But then he's got an amazing run game that goes with it. And Goff was the guy that was basically, they packaged a one with him to take them off of their hands. And all of a sudden now he's up for the MVP, and he's playing great, don't get me wrong. But everything around him is fantastic. Where you look at this Cowboys team, and you're just like, yeah, Dak's got CeeDee Lamb, so there's that going for him. His number 2 receiver had an infection in his knee, and we don't know when he's coming back. And that offensive line is not even close to being where they thought it would be at this point with starting 2 rookies, and they have no semblance of a run game. If you gave him any part of that, I'm not saying he'd be up for MVP, but he'd look much more like you saw last year. And the trickle down from all of this is, I think, some of those interceptions these last 3 games, because he's trying to overcompensate because he knows, like, Jared Goff and the Lions go out there and they go 3 and out, a lot of confidence on that next drive. They'll go 7-8 plays down. I believe Dak looks at it as like, if I don't take this shot right here, we might not get anything going. And it looks exactly like what we saw in the third quarter of that Niners game, where everything just comes up unraveled immediately. So his margin of error is so small that I think that he's probably pressing a little bit, and it's turning it into throwing some and some throws that he probably shouldn't throw and he knows he shouldn't throw.
Well, let me ask you this then, John, about the run game. It seems like, at least in that San Francisco game, and I know there's been some others where they fall behind early and they have to throw the football. But in that San Francisco game, if Mike McCarthy wanted to commit to a run game, it seems to me he could have. I'm not sure that Mike McCarthy wants to stay with the run game, and it would help him tremendously, but he just goes away from it really quick.
Yeah, no, there's something to be said for that as well, and that's why, and that's why it's going to fall on him at the end of the season if they don't have success, because I can just tell you the way that Jerry's going to make this is that it's going to be like, well, this is what Mike wanted. We gave him the piece that we wanted, that he was fine with us going running back by committee, and he thought that he could make it work. And ultimately, if it doesn't, then it's going to fall on him, and he's going to, because it's not like Jerry's going to be like, well, I'm firing the GM. That's not happening. And so that's what's going to happen. And then it's going to be sold that, well, we're going to bring in this new coaching staff, and it's going to have one of the a more modern, whatever way you want to call it, offense, whether it's from the Shanahan tree or a Ben Johnson or something like that. And it's going to be sold that it's like, well, we're going to do different things on offense, where it's like, well, yeah, well, we heard that with, Kellen Moore, and then there was Scott Linehan. Like it's just this constant changing, to adapt to whatever's the new thing that's going on. And I just think that if things continue to go poorly, that's what will be sold to in the offseason.
John Machota from The Athletic here on the Blitz. Cowboys, how do they go into Atlanta and walk out of there with a win?
Well, they'd have to be able to run the ball for sure, have some success. I know that it's not going to be anything major, but it's got to at least be something where they have a couple of carries that go for, 8-10 yards to at least keep the defense honest. I find it hard to believe that they can win any game without at least a little bit of a run game. So that would be one. And then two for me is that they would have to take the ball away. Like, they got to steal some possessions. That was such a key and has been such a key for the last 3 seasons. Really the entire time Mike McCarthy's been head coach, they've been very good at taking the ball away, and this season's just been awful at it. And then obviously they have to take care of it themselves. But the way they keep losing this turnover battle every week, even if you're a really good football team, that's setting you up for disaster. So they have to get some takeaways on defense, and that's easier said than done when you don't really have a pass rush.
John Machota from The Athletic. Make sure you subscribe to The Athletic and follow John on Twitter at JON Machota. Enjoy the weekend down in Florida and Georgia.
Will do, boys. You guys have a good weekend as well.
Appreciate it. John Machota here on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com.
You imagine John Machota and all of those guys down there that get to be around that circus every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah, it's the Cowboys.
It is.
And again, they go get a win, and they're right back in it. And
they're 4-4.
And it's so funny. You spend all that time talking about no run game. How do they win this thing? Well, they got to run.
Got to run the football, but he's got to commit to it. I'm convinced that Mike McCarthy has not been committed to the run. And he's got to do that. You go into that game saying, look, Zeke or Rico or Dalvin or whomever is going to carry the football.
10 carries.
Something.
Can one running back get 10 carries?
And do it early.
Yes.
Keep the ball away from Cousins in that offense, because it's not a bad offense over there for Atlanta.
I worry that Bijan might have a NFL career day against that Cowboys run defense with no Micah Parsons. As Stephen Jones told us, a long shot for Parsons to play this weekend.
I think, he's got a shot, but I would call it a long shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that would tell me most likely he's not going to. He didn't practice again today, but neither did Trayvon Diggs. And that's, to me, right now, a little more concerning than Micah Parsons, because you're not expecting Parsons. You're expecting Diggs.
And if Bland can't go.
Yeah, that's secondary.
Maybe they can make like a secret deal, like, we're just going to both teams run the ball today.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here in 2 hours and 18 minutes. Run the ball. Wow. I don't know. Texans, they're going to need to run the ball tonight against the New York Jets. You're looking for a place to go watch that game, plus the Spurs and Jazz tonight, and enjoy some great scenery. Get into the Roo Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. No better place to go watch any big game, any big event with those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. And tonight at the Roo Pub, it's their staff Halloween costume contest. I don't need to say anything more than that. If you know, you know. And when you go into the Root Pub, go hungry. The food, fantastic. They got the biggest and best wings in town, about 15 different burgers on the menu, great salads, great appetizers, and that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need that late night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Root Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. Happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night. The best place to watch a game tonight, it's Halloween. People are going to be dressed up. The staff is going to be dressed up. It's going to be an incredible night at the Root. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Root Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Root.
Riding home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday at noon, the back-to-back road trip ends in Atlanta with the boys taking on the Falcons.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 11. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
You asked for it, you got it! How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Trane Heating and Cooling Systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local independent Trane dealer. TraneInfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
Testosterone plays a significant role in regulating fat metabolism and distribution in the body. It also helps to reduce serious health risks down the line. I'm Manny with Rock's Discount Vitamins, and we carry the highest quality natural testosterone boosters on the market. It immediately provides you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improves your mood. With 11 San Antonio area locations, find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for all the support.
Time to start planning your Thanksgiving dinner, and that starts with the turkey. And the best turkeys are from Tri-County Meat Market. Tri-County gets their turkeys from Barber Farms in Colorado. These fresh, all-natural turkeys are never frozen and come between 8 and 24 pounds. Tri-County Meat Market only gets a limited number, so reserve your turkey before they sell out. Pre-order your turkeys and your pies from the Ultimate Cheesecake Bakery now at either Tri-County Meat Market location on Huebner Road or on Ralph Fair Road.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies. First aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Hey guys, it's AJ from the Morning Huddle. Between us, when you hit a certain age, things start to feel a little off, right? You're tired all the time, your energy's low, maybe even your drive isn't what it used to be. And a lot of that comes down to testosterone, and trust me, it can happen to the best of us. That's where Game Day Men's Health comes in. They know how we feel, and they make it easy. Game Day Men's Health is over there on Bassey Road, across from the Quarry. Their office has a relaxed man cave vibe, and they've built a 3-step process that's quick and designed just for us. First, get your T-levels checked, free testosterone test at their in-house lab. Then you meet with a licensed provider to create a customized plan, and finally, you'll get those fast weekly treatments. After a month, you're going to notice a difference. More energy, better mood, and a kick in your libido. Don't settle. Be the best version of yourself. Call Game Day Men's Health, 210-900-3691. That's 210-900-3691. Feel better, be better at Game Day.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to sasportsstar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at sasportsstar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Lots to watch tonight. San Antonio Spurs back in action after losing it at OKC last night. Wemby, worst game as a Spur, 6 points last night, but they're back in action tonight against the winless Utah Jazz. They'll tip things off there at 8 o'clock. We also have Thursday Night Football tonight. C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans. They're in New York to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. You can catch it all right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star at 6:30.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Along with Joe Reinagel, I'm Jason Minix on this Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everybody. And if you're going home right now, congratulations. You made it. Friday's just about here.
Run home and get ready for all the kiddos to come knocking on the door.
You know, watch this football game tonight?
Probably.
A little bit of that?
Yes.
A little bit of Spurs, see if they're better?
Yeah. It's Thursday. And again, I enjoy Halloween. I miss the days when I would take my kiddo around trick-or-treating.
Really?
I do. That was always fun. That was always my job. I would walk with her, and Joanna would stay home and pass out the candy.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. That was fun. And then I'd steal all the candy that I wanted, and we were good to go. And I'll go out for a little while and watch the kids until, I don't know, the game starts.
Well, there you go.
Then I will duck inside and not be bothered.
I got a question for you.
All right.
On your, what is it called? Where you higher or lower?
Underdog Fantasy?
Underdog Fantasy. Is there a prop for sacks tonight? Because there's going to be a lot of them, I have a feeling. I just saw a stat on ESPN. The Jets' pressure rate is second, or, getting pressure on the quarterback, second worst in the NFL. The Texans, fourth. So there could be a lot of sacks tonight.
There could be a lot of sacks. So it wouldn't be by team, but it would be individual defensive players.
Oh, okay.
That you could go higher or lower on various sacks.
All right. I just think there might be a few of those tonight on both sides. Interesting stat, though. That's why I brought that up, because that might be easy money.
Now I've opened my app, and I'm looking to see, well, what should I go with here? So let's see. Who do they have? Hunter at half a sack. Higher or lower?
Do they have Hassan Reddick? Is he playing tonight?
I'm going through. I'm looking. This wasn't part of my.
I know, but I'm just trying to help the people out that also have Underdog Fantasy and want an easy play.
And if you don't get it, promo code STAR.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look into that. I might have to add to what I've already done for Underdog for tonight's Texans-Jets game. And, the great thing, because you do college football, you could do pro football, obviously basketball is going on. And you think about one of the, not the biggest game of the weekend, obviously, I think we all know that's the Penn State game. But a sneaky good game between Texas A&M and South Carolina.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at how many Aggies that I've talked to this week that are looking at this game as it's South Carolina. And this is a fairly dangerous game for Texas A&M to stay on the collision course of having one-loss teams play at the end of the year, Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, and, South Carolina's had some good wins. They've got a good defense. They take the football away. They've been doing that very well this year. Offensively, they're a little challenged there. But, it could be a tough game, and one of those games that, Aggie's feeling good about that LSU win, and you're not expecting a tough game against South Carolina, and all of a sudden you're in a dogfight. That's not an easy place to go up and win.
It's not, and I'll tell you, the game, which obviously you can listen to here on 94.1, brought to you by the Angry Elephant in Ewok, Kubota. 5:30 pregame show, 6:30 kickoff, and maybe when we talk with Andrew Monaco tomorrow, we'll have a good idea of who is going to be the quarterback. Although Mike Elko, today on Jim Rome's show here on 94.1, did not want to give any clue as to who was going to be QB1, and all he really did say, trying to make it funny, they will indeed have a quarterback.
Yeah, we've decided we're definitely going to have a quarterback back there behind the center. And,
no way.
That's the decision we've come to, and
really?
I think we're going to roll with it.
Well, was that an organizational decision, or did you come up with that yourself?
All by myself. I wanted to take that one all into my hands. No, obviously we're gonna figure this thing out as we head into the weekend and do what we think gives us the best chance to win.
I want to have South Carolina preparing for both of those guys. I don't know.
What I like about it, though, is if he does go back to Connor, and I've been in and out on Connor all year. I thought Reed was the guy until he wasn't. And what he did show that he's not afraid to go to Reed. And Jim Rome did ask him, how is Connor handling the situation there at quarterback with his job?
First of all, we never felt like we were really out of it. We felt like we were going toe-to-toe with them, and we just couldn't get it, unlocked for whatever reason. And so, we came out in the second half and we tried some different things, and it didn't seem to work. And we just felt like, with how big that game was, we had to try something. And so, we always have a plan and package ready for Marcel. I think he brings a little bit of a different dynamic to the game. And so we made the switch, and obviously it worked out really well. And then in terms of how Connor handled it, he handled it like a pro. Obviously disappointed, because who wouldn't be? Everybody, wants the opportunity to go out there and win the football game, especially the quarterback. But he's a great teammate. I think if you go back and watch the game, you'll see him on the sideline greeting Marcel after touchdowns and celebrating with his teammates. And at the end of the day, he handled it like a pro. You would want to.
I would be shocked if Connor Wegman's not the starting quarterback Saturday against South Carolina.
I'm with you. I think they go Connor, but I do think there's going to be a package of plays when Reed is going to come in. And what we're not going to know, and the old idea, if you got two quarterbacks, you don't have one. But he is a very different dynamic and different element. And so he does things Connor can't, and he provides that spark. There's just something there as you're looking towards the future, but playing in the now. And in a lot of ways similar, yet very different than what Sark did with Quinn the other day with Arch. But that offense responded. The Aggie team responded. I mean, Reed coming in, that decision is why Texas A&M was able to knock off LSU.
That's absolutely true, and you got to wonder, and quarterbacks can say all the right thing, you're a good teammate, you're celebrating, but if Wegman does indeed start that game, is he always looking over his shoulder if he makes a bad throw, throws an interception, whatever the case may be, you're looking over your shoulder, and then you're just kind of worthless at that point in time, because, look, Reed played well against LSU, but there were some games after we all thought he was going to take over that he stunk up the place.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm not sure that he's ready to take over on a full-time basis either. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. But I think Wegman will start the game, and then we'll go from there.
Although I do think if you have the relationship with your quarterback and he understands what is going on, where it seems like Quinn certainly did it in that Georgia game, it seems like Connor did, like it wasn't a complete surprise because he can't play like you said, looking over his shoulder, am I going to get benched? But knowing that it is going to happen at some point for a change of pace, and
sure,
I think, and if you're Elko, that's how you have to approach this.
Exactly.
It'll be interesting to see what Andrew Monaco tells us yesterday. I just hope that he's on with us after they've had to walk through and he has a better idea. We'll find out.
We'll find out. Going to be interesting. But that is a game to watch on Saturday for sure.
Game to watch tonight in New York. The Houston Texans taking on the New York Jets. Let's talk about it with John McClain from HoustonTexans.com. He joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And you think about watching this game, trying to add a little bit more excitement to it, want to have some fun watching this game, make sure you download the Underdog Fantasy app and play the Pick'em game so you have a chance to win money while watching the game. And play the Pick'em game. Now, I know I've got, I'm looking at my entry right now. Joe Mixon, higher or lower, 79.5 rushing yards. I like the higher on that one. The lower on C.J. Stroud's passing yards at 237.5 because he doesn't throw the ball the same on the road. I always like the kicking point. 7.5 for Kaimi. I'm going to have that as a part of my pick-em entry as well. And then I'm going to go over and look at the Spurs tonight and my NBA totals. And they're always running at Underdog Fantasy, especially right now. Various specials, promos, and bonuses like Profit Boost. It's October 31st. They've got a 31% boost going on tonight. Pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts where you get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at the win. And, of course, free picks. Basically a sure thing. A player just has to go higher than 0.5 for that pick to win. And all new users get a free pick. So if you haven't signed up yet, do it now. Underdog Fantasy. Download the app. Go to the website. Just use my promo code STAR when you sign up. And Underdog is in deposit. Underdog is going to offer you up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Promo code STAR when you get signed up. Must be over 18. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog Fantasy.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
I have to ask the sun. At some point, is that ever going to be addressed?
Talking about it.
In the stadium, the 325 sundial effect, it just seems something that we can fix. Let's put some curtains up.
Okay, noted.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey guys, it's AJ. I'm here to tell you about SA Card House, San Antonio's premier card house. They're now accepting new memberships. They're open 7 days a week. Great atmosphere, great vibe, great food, great service. All skill levels welcome. Stop by. Check them out online, sacardhouse.com.
For a limited time, get a free K5 reverse osmosis drinking water system when you purchase a Connecticut water softener. Clean, great tasting water at your kitchen sink. Hurry before they're gone.
Call 656 Pure Connecticut.
Get huge savings during the fall sales event at Ancira Nissan on IH-10 West. At Ancira Nissan, lease this 2025 Sentra S for just $218 per month for 36 months. Or this 24 Rogue SV for just $258 per month for 36 months. Stop in or check us out at AnciraNissanSA.com. The fall sales event at Ancira Nissan on IH-10 West between Wurzbach and Heidner.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio, and since 1994, I've been representing people and families seriously injured by negligent drivers. I think everyone knows that driving while using a cell phone, texting, posting videos is dangerous. Study after study shows that use of a cell phone like this is the same or worse than driving under the influence. Yet, many people insist on using their cell phones while driving. I've had many cases where my client was injured by one of these people because they chose to use their cell phone. Who are these people? You and I have both seen them, probably today. Men, women, old, young, minivan drivers, truck drivers, 18-wheeler drivers. I know this. The same person that chooses to use their cell phone while driving is the same person who will lie about it later just to avoid taking responsibility. If you choose to use a cell phone while driving and hurt someone, you'd better hope they don't call me. If you or a family member has been injured in a vehicle collision, call me. Jason Thompson, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Oh, Downy in the rinse straight. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, if you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast. So, for any kind of office,
I'm really going places in my office.
count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
Purchase new wiper blades from O'Reilly Auto Parts today and we'll install them for free. See better and drive safer with O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. The Morning Huddle.
This is the second time in a row where Rob has conveniently forgotten his wallet the day that we go get lunch.
I didn't suggest lunch today, though.
We do lunch almost every Wednesday.
I'd forgotten the day.
They brought us our checks, and then Rob, hey, one of you guys is going to have to cover this. I don't have my wallet.
Oh, man.
And I said, wait a minute, that's exactly what you said last week.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings, 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on this Halloween. Thursday night football tonight. Texans-Jets, a game you can listen to here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, brought to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer, the national broadcast here on San Antonio Sports Star. Will the Houston Texans get a win? Let's talk about it. John McClain from HoustonTexans.com joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. And, John, the question really all week is, how are the Jets favored in this game tonight?
Well, I think, number one, the Texans looked terrible up there last year. Texans' offense has been very shaky. Their pass protection has not been good. They're missing their first two receivers. And the Jets got a lot of talent. They've lost 3 games because their kicker, Greg Zuerlein, they put him on IR, signed some guy off the street who'll be kicking tonight. And when I analyzed this game and wrote a column about it, they do have a lot of talent. They got wide receivers, running backs, Rodgers, good enough offensive line. Their defense is really good. They're 4th. The Texans are 2nd. And I was just talking to James before I came on, thinking about what their great defensive tackle, Quinnen Williams, might do to the Texans' very weak left guard, Kenyon Green, is scary. One of those things he might get arrested if it happened out on the street.
So what do the Texans need to do, John? Do they need to try and establish Joe Mixon and get the running game going to try and take some of that heat off?
You know what they do, Joe? When they run Mixon on a first down and he gets stopped, then you automatically put him Stroud in 2nd, 3rd, and long. And they've had really bad protection issues with the interior line. I think their second-year center, Juice Scruggs, and Kenyon Green, who's in his 3rd year but missed all last year, they struggle with stunts. Stroud had big problems at Green Bay on recognizing blitzes. He did better last week in the victory over Indianapolis. So they need to run, of course, and try to give Stroud some time to throw. He has to throw so much on the run, and he gets hit so much after he throws, and he's been remarkably accurate on the run. And I look for Tank Dell, Robert Woods, John Mechie III, and Xavier Hutchinson. Those guys need to step up without Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs. Collins will be back the next game for Detroit, and Diggs, of course, is gone for the season. And the defense, Rodgers is not mobile. It's the exact opposite game plan you would have compared to Anthony Richardson of the Colts. And the Texans defensive line has been really good. Right now, Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. are first and fourth in pressures. No other team has two players in the top 15, and they've gotten really good performance from their tackles, Tim Settle Jr. and Foley Fatukasi, and now Danico Autry. So they're good up front, and they got to get some pressure on Rodgers, make him throw the ball before he wants to. But I picked the Texans the Jets 20-17, because I think at some point the Jets are going to put it together like they're capable of doing, and they got a lot to prove.
They got a lot to prove. I agree with that, although I think Houston gets the win. I think a big part of it's just such a dumpster fire. They're in New York, and with the Lions next week, short week, this is where I think that Texans defense has to show up.
Well, I hope you're right, and I've certainly been wrong before, but this offense has yet to play a full game like it's capable of playing. When it runs the ball, it has problems throwing. I see some people around the country talking about Stroud's not as good as he was last year, and I'm thinking, you're not watching this team play, because it's not Stroud. The problem is the protection, and when he does get time, it's a beautiful thing. It's amazing what happens when you get good protection.
Well, it's also amazing that people say that when they're 6-2. I mean, it's not like they're 2-6 at this point in time. The Houston Texans are still right there and have everything in front of them. So that is kind of crazy. But I'm with you, John, and I really think that at some point in time, Aaron Rodgers and all those weapons that they've got have got to show up. And I just think prime time tonight, this is going to be the night. Just because I think Houston is a little bit in disarray, especially offensively, and that's going to make the difference.
They're shaky. And 2 weeks ago in Green Bay, the offensive line was awful. And they still lost in a 45-yard field goal with no time left. And afterward, the offensive line, but not the tackles. The tackles, Laramie Tunsil and Titus Howard, have played well for the most part. It's the interior guys. And if Kenyon Green starts bad, I think they'll put in Kendrick Green. They benched him last week, and a replacement, Jared Patterson, got hurt on the best touchdown drive they had of the day, 70 yards. But you can't have a guy in there that continually gets beat on stunts, gets beat straight up on bull rushes. And I think at some point, the quarterback's going to feel that pressure, and sometimes he'll feel it when it's not there. And so I think it'd be great if they came out, scored touchdown on the first drive, try to take out the crowd. And I also look at the Jets throw the ball to Breece Hall a lot. Breece Hall's a really good running back who is not being utilized like he should be there. And I would suspect that they'll go to him a lot. And they better have somebody who can cover him out of the backfield, because he's really good. And at some point, Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers are going to have a game like they used to have at Green Bay. But if you're a Texans fan, you better hope it's not tonight.
And John McClain from HoustonTexans.com joining us here on the Blitz. CJ's, 2-0 in primetime games, although it's been a while, 2019, since they've won on Thursday night football, and 3 straight losses by double digits in these situations. Is that just one of those scenarios of playing on a short week and not being ready? And I go back to, a couple of those losses, those teams weren't competitive to begin with. Under DeMeco Ryans, how do you see he will handle this team on the road short week?
Now, this is Stroud's first game he's played on Thursday night, and those other losses are because their teams were mostly bad. And when they play on the road and the offensive line says they can't hear because of the crowd noise, that's not an excuse. they play 9 games on the road. So the whole key to me is not the defense, not the running game. It's how the interior line protects him when the Jets are running stunts and loops and blitzing off the slot receivers. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, it seems to me, though, John, when you go into this thing, the one edge the Texans have is the coaching staff for sure. I'm not sure what the Jets have in regards of coaching staff, so I would assume that D'Amico's going to have a pretty good game plan in store for Aaron Rodgers.
Well, he certainly should. There's no excuse not to. The defense has been really good. 2 games ago, they had 5 starters out at Green Bay, and they still almost won a game, and then they've got 2 out now. Jets got some injuries as well, but both teams are still in good enough shape. And one of the keys for the Texans, what receivers are going to step up? Will Sauce Gardner, will he cover Tank Dell all over the field, or will he stay on one side? Derek Stingley Jr. stays on one side, and he'll be covering sometimes Devontae Adams. Sometimes he'll be covering, Alan Lazard's out, so he'll get Garrett Wilson. And so I think both teams want to establish the run, but they've got to throw. You got to protect the quarterback. Rodgers doesn't move like he used to, but he can still slide, and he's still accurate. He's looking to have a big game. He's got a lot of pride, and he doesn't like to see them lose 5 in a row, 0-3 since Robert Saleh was fired, and that's why I think at some point, and I think it's tonight, they're going to put a good game together. Texas just can't turn it over. Turnovers haven't been an issue with them. They're +4 in turnover differential, but boy, you go on the road. Last year they played in the rain up there, got beat 30-6. Zach Wilson had the best game of his career, and of course Stroud got a concussion that kept him out of the rest of that game and 2 more.
John McClain, the Mounds or Almond Joy Bar for Texans fans with what you're talking about. So I got to ask, what kind of candy are you passing out at the McClain house tonight?
I have no idea what my wife, she gets a big kick out of doing that, puts on her witch's hat, and's got all kind of candy. And I hope she doesn't give it all away for obvious reasons. And if I were going to dress up, I'd be a devil, little devil. That's what my mother always told me when she's mad at me. I was a little devil.
What do you mean? So does that mean you're not dressing up, John?
No. If I tried to get in a devil costume, I think I couldn't. I went from being a little devil to a too big devil.
I'd like to see it, John.
I'm not sure anybody wants to see that.
Enjoy your Halloween, John.
Guys, thank you very much. I hope you do too, and I hope for the Texans it's more treat than trick. Thank you.
Appreciate it. The great John McClain from HoustonTexans.com on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at BuyersBarricades.com.
John, make you a little nervous?
Well, I mean, look, he went from the little devil to the Mr. Kool-Aid man is where I thought he was going to go with that.
Yeah. Well, that would have been that's a nice thing. I wouldn't want to say he's like chunky or anything, but I mean, the
what are you saying then?
Well, I'm just saying
what are you saying?
The Kool-Aid man would be good for all of us probably.
Yes.
Would hide a lot of flaws. Did you see Wemby last night with the Slender Man costume walking in?
I missed that, but he did that. He's done that before.
Yeah. Well, he should have been the Invisible Man, because that's what he turned out to be during the game.
That's what he was during the game. Wonder what he's going to wear tonight. Spurs do play tonight on the road against Utah. What I thought would be an easy win, but after last night, with this team, there's no such thing. Let's talk about it coming up here on the Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday on the Morning Huddle, Spurs in a back-to-back in Utah. We'll look at what happened.
How'd the Texans do last night? And how will the Cowboys do this weekend? Plus all the football coming up. It's the Morning Huddle. Starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I didn't want to call Bobo and have to have a confrontation.
Just make a change?
Yeah, because you're so bitchy.
We do it all the time.
You're so bitchy, Bobo.
You always want to
Do you realize how bitchy you are? And I don't want to fight with you.
You know, you calling me bitchy would be like me calling you a fat bastard. You know, that's projection, dude.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Did you know that Wendy's has any size soft drinks for just $1? Yeah, any size, anytime. Like $1 Coke, $1 Sprite, or even $1 strawberry Fanta. Okay, could we maybe switch up the sound effect, please? 'Cause I'm losing it. Wow, no, not that. Any size soft drink for just $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. A la carte only. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
The 149th Fighter Wing of the Texas Air National Guard is hiring both full and part-time positions with over 180 different career choices, including cyber, healthcare, communications, avionics, electronics, and more. The Texas Air National Guard offers a variety of ways you can serve. Earn education benefits that would cover tuition towards a bachelor's degree. To learn more, Google the 149th Fighter Wing. That's the 149th Fighter Wing of the Texas Air National Guard.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small, loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
This Saturday, be at the Alamo Dome as your UTSA Roadrunners take on the Memphis Tigers. And remember to wear black. It's the Lights Out game and UTSA salute to local businesses. Tickets start at just $21 at GoUTSA.com. It's the UTSA Roadrunners hosting the Memphis Tigers this Saturday in the Alamo Dome. Kickoff at 11 a.m. Visit GoUTSA.com to secure your seats now. UTSA football, it's more than a game. It's an experience.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
I spray and scrub, but the soap scum in my bathtub is still there.
I spray and scrub, but the burnt sauce on my stovetop sticks around.
Sprays can leave grime behind, but Mr. Clean Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser combines the scrubbing power of an eraser with the cleaning power of Dawn to melt away tough messes on contact.
Just wet, squeeze, and erase.
Stop spraying, start erasing, and clean with more magic than ever with Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Hey guys, it's AJ. I'm here to tell you about SA Card House, San Antonio's premier card house. They're now accepting new memberships. They're open 7 days a week. Great atmosphere, great vibe, great food, great service. All skill levels welcome. Stop by. Check them out online, sacardhouse.com.
What's up? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. This is Game Night San Antonio on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Every game night, the Blitz with Jason and Joe get you inside and ready for tonight's game. Players, coaches, insiders. This is Game Night San Antonio. And the pregame starts right now.
It is Game Night San Antonio here on the Blitz. Spurs, Jazz tonight in Salt Lake City. The Jazz winless on the year. The one-win Spurs have a chance tonight.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens in this game. I tell you what, because the Jazz have just been terrible. The Spurs have to win this game. I mean, don't they? They have to. Even though, am I reading this right? They're an underdog in Utah tonight?
Yes.
Wow.
No. Second night of a back-to-back. I fully expected this to be a Wemby-less game. But he was so bad last night that I think Pop's making him play. This is punishment for Wemby.
Yeah,
I mean, because he was MIA. Last night was his worst game as an NBA player, and that's just unacceptable for a superstar at the level of Wemby.
I totally agree with that statement. He's got to play better, and he's got to impose his will. He's their superstar. He's their guy. Took 5 shots last night, and that's just unacceptable to me. I can't imagine. And I put some of that blame on Chris Paul in a lot of ways. Get him the basketball where he can take more shots. Because, look, Jeremy Sohan's your defensive guy, but he's trying to do both. Playing well in the defensive end, there's no question. But I don't want Jeremy Sohan taking 16 shots a game.
And right now he's volume offense. I don't know. I mean, Harrison Barnes had 12 shots. I just can't get over Wemby. Played 27 minutes last night. I don't even know why the guy went out there in the second half. If he would have come out in street clothes at halftime and, don't feel well, still dealing with the cold or whatever it is he's got, fine. Because he was worthless on the basketball court last night. Wemby was 6 points, 1 of 5 shooting. He had 8 rebounds. He only had 2 assists. He was a non-factor last night in a nationally televised game. You cannot be a superstar in this league and have a game where you are a non-factor.
Can't argue with that at all. He needs some help around him, though. He really, truly does. I mean, you look at Chet Holmgren last night with OKC. Yeah, that team is talented. They've got a lot of good players, and would not surprise me one bit if we're watching them play in the NBA Finals. Wemby needs some help. I mean, he really does. However, having said that, I mean, he's got to take more than 5 shots, and he's got to impose his will, and he's got to get it done. He got it done in the Olympics. He got it done last season. What's the difference? Is it sickness? Is that all it was? Let's hope so.
Impose his will. That's the key word. And again, look, all guys, myself included, we're the biggest babies when we don't feel well.
Sure.
It's just the truth. And we know he's been battling a cold. And so if this is because he's sick and he doesn't have a Michael Jordan flu game in him, certainly not in October, that's fine. But he would have been criticized for sitting out with a cold. But Pop doesn't give a damn about criticism. That's obvious. But last night was awful. And I should not get angry at what I see with the Spurs in October. Yet I was angry last night watching that game. I was disgusted with the display of basketball that they were putting on.
We expect, or I certainly expect more. I think everybody does from this team. Not saying they're going to be a playoff team, even a play-in team. I don't care about any of that because I know this process is going to continue on. But I do expect them to compete and win more ball games than 22 And you're right. In a lot of ways, if Wemby's not feeling well, why not sit him out last night?
Yeah.
Your chances of winning that game are slim anyway, and have him ready to go for tonight. The only good news is I see where Lauri Markkanen is questionable tonight. He's got some back spasms or something like that. So not sure whether he'll play or not. And if he doesn't, certainly that helps the Spurs' cause.
It does, although I'm glad Wemby did try to go last night because I looked at last night's game, as we talked about yesterday about this time. It was a measuring stick kind of game. You know, Oklahoma City, I expect them to be in the NBA Finals. They're going to compete for a trophy. And we've heard forever that the Spurs' plan is basically a copy of what Oklahoma City did in rebuilding their team. I mean, Pop even said that again last night.
It's a very good team altogether. It's a playoff team that's very possibly go very deep into the playoffs and maybe do even better than that. So that's a fact. You know, they're a better team than we are. But that's also beside the point. You know, we're trying to get to their level. And it's basketball. It's the same things that get everybody to the next level, the next level, next level. And, you know, the first thing for us is to realize it's a 48-minute game. You know, the second half, we played them even. You know, I think we scored a few more points than they did in the second half, actually, taking away the last minute and a half or 2 minutes. But that's 24 minutes. That's not 48. So I think that's probably the biggest thing for us to understand, that you have to bring it every quarter, every possession. And then the second thing is to take care of the ball. We gave up 27 points off turnovers again. We almost hit our record of 28 last year. We were one shy. That's not good. So that's where it's at. So give them credit. Hell of a team, really well coached. They're disciplined. They're consistent. I love their team. It's great. But I love my team too, but we've got more work to do than they do. And our guys have to understand that, embrace it, be professional about it, and want to be more consistent in all those areas.
But you know, that's something we haven't even talked about, Jason. 22 turnovers last night.
Yeah.
And that's been a problem in all four games, is turning the basketball over. You got to take care of the basketball. You have to. And the Spurs so far this season, early on, 4 games, they haven't been able to do that.
They, I believe they've turned the ball over more than their opponent in all 4 games.
I believe you are correct.
That's not a winning formula.
No, it's not.
I mean, they're turning it over like Dak Prescott. I know, low-hanging fruit, man. I got there before you could.
You did.
But again, I mean, you know, and again, learning teams. And I think Pop was spot on, but second half, yes, they outscored Oklahoma City by 3 whole points in the second half. Oklahoma City put it on cruise control in the middle of the fourth quarter. That game only covered last night because Oklahoma City stopped playing in the middle of the fourth quarter to make it somewhat respectable. If Oklahoma City wanted to, they could have won that game last night by 35.
Well, I think so. I mean, they had a 15-point lead at halftime, right? So you do kind of, I mean, it's human nature. Not that you're going to let off the gas in the third quarter, but it is. It's human nature. You just stay even with them. That's all you need to do.
I mean, they got up
and
by
that's what they did.
19-20 at one point,
so,
and
I mean, that's all you need to do, and that's all Oklahoma City did. So I hear where Pop's going, and he probably wants his team to, you know, stay motivated, but they got their ass kicked last night. I mean, let's say for what it is. They got their ass kicked last night by a team that is a lot better than they are at this point in time. And I wonder, you know, Pop says he likes his team, and I get that, but and go with me on there, or just tell me what you think. I don't think this team that is on the floor right now is going to look anywhere near a team that we start next year with.
Oh, I agree with that.
There's going to be a lot of players that are not going to be there, and this team is going to look a lot different than it does right now.
This year is supposed to be about winning. That's what Pop told us.
That's what he said.
And Chris Paul is a 1-year rental. Basically, you've got a tutor. And he's not a part of the long-term plans. Jeremy is, or maybe he's playing this way. I don't know. I mean, Jeremy's interesting. Keldon is frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got some other guys, like Julian is a guy that has carved a nice little niche in the NBA. He wouldn't be a starter on any other team in the NBA right now. Although he could end up having a really nice NBA career. Same with Zach Collins and same with Blake Wesley. But, Wesley, they can't even spell his name right on the damn jersey. So you just look at all of the frustration. And if last night was a measuring stick game, which is what I looked at last night's game was, the Spurs aren't even close to being competitive.
No.
They looked more like a 20-win lottery team last night than a team that could be closer to 40 wins and fighting for a play-in spot. That said, it's one game in October. I don't want to overreact to it, but last night's game pissed me off.
Well, look, you kind of see where they're at least right now. The better teams, they're not going to be able to win. They got beat by Dallas. They got beat by OKC, split with Houston. And who knows where Houston's going to go. I think Houston at the end of the day is going to be a better team than we think they are right now. So that's what you've got to go on so far. It is early. There's a lot of bridge to cross yet, but so far the season has not begun the way I think most Spurs fans would have expected it to.
And Wemby, as a superstar player, has to play better than what we have seen so far this season.
Without a doubt.
He's got to. He is a superstar. Superstars don't have games like what we saw last night.
I totally agree. You can't, and he's got to get more shots. But I think a lot of that is him. He's got to demand the basketball and take the shots. That's what superstars do. They demand the basketball. He needs to do that as well.
Jazz have not won a game this year. So hopefully the Spurs will keep it that way.
Yeah. I hope tonight's not the first. That would be tough.
Yeah.
It'll be a hell of a conversation tomorrow on this show.
Well, and again, tomorrow on a Football Friday, we're going to be down at Southwest Dragon Stadium. 8-0 Jay against 8-0 Southwest. One of two games in the state featuring undefeated teams. District championship on the line. It's going to be a fun time tomorrow. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I don't want to go to work all angry at the Spurs losing to the Jazz. They've got to get this one just to make our Football Friday that much better.
Well, let's see. Nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, that's true. It's going to be a fun time. You know what we do every Thursday about this time?
The Blitz wants you to know what's on tap. Presented by Sam's Burger Joint.
It is time to start getting ready for the weekend, which, of course, for a lot of people starts tonight with all the Halloween parties. And, of course, what's on tap brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint. They have Psycho 78 tonight, a tribute to the Misfits. Robert Ellis and Joe Pug on Friday. Saturday night, Honey Bradshaw, Jimmy Spacek on Sunday. Sam'sBurgerJoint.com, where you can get your tickets, see their entire calendar, and, of course, the menu there.
Other stuff going on tonight out at Green Hall. You have Slim Bob and the Fabulous Stump Grinders out there. Frost Bank Center is 17. Is that a band?
Sure.
17? Not sure. I'll assume that it is. Stable Hall at the Pearl tonight. Deadly Discoteca. Ms. Bone? Joan
Ms. Bone?
What would it be? I'm thinking it's spelled Joan, except the B instead of the J, so I'm thinking it's Bone, right? Miss Bone, Puerto Negra, and Dark Chisme. That sounds like a lot of fun.
That K-pop band 17, they got 2 nights at the Frost Bank Center. They'll be there tomorrow night as well. The Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse in concert Friday night at the Majestic Theater. 3 Dog Night is at Green Hall. 3 Dog Night still rolling around.
How about that? Well, they're playing twice at Green Hall. They're again on Saturday night as well.
Now, I had to look this up because, 3 Dog Night, they started in the late 60s. And they still have a couple of original members, including lead singer Danny Hutton.
Wow.
They've got a guy that's been in the band since 82, a drummer since 93, although a guy named David Morgan, not the former tight end at UTSA, I'm assuming. He's a vocalist. He joined in 2015, and their keyboard player joined in 2017. They got a new bass player that joined in 21 named Timothy Hutton. I don't know if he's related to Danny, but I mean, that might be Danny's grandkid. Hell, I don't know.
Very well could be.
Three Dog Night.
I'd like to see it, though, wouldn't you? I'd like to see him play.
I mean,
Three Dog Night?
you know,
Wow.
that's one of those bands that's always been around.
Yeah.
They're good. I've never seen them. I'm not going to see them this weekend. But, yeah, if they're still alive next time they roll around and I get tickets, sure, why not?
Why not? Hey, Saturday, a lot of sports taking place at the Alamo Dome, of course, at 11 o'clock. UTSA takes on Memphis. And then at the Frost Bank Center that night, the Spurs taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Midland is playing at the Boeing Center at Techport. That'll be a lot of fun. Monkeys on a String, Stable Hall at the Pearl. 49 Winchester at Floor's Country Store. We already mentioned Three Dog Night. That should be a lot of fun. At the Charlene McCombs Empire Theater, Comedy Legends of San Antonio. It might be kind of funny.
Well, I would hope so if they're comedy legends.
Yes.
Sunday night out at Green Hall, the Eric Nemmer Band. Freeman Coliseum has Chris Tomlin. Joe, the Texas Bridal and Wedding Expo is happening at the Freeman Coliseum Expo Hall.
Don't have anything to go there for at the moment.
Well, I mean, there's one in the works.
Well, one in the works, but that's later.
Well,
Later,
you
next
gotta
year.
start shopping now.
Yeah.
Pink. She's at the Moody Center on Sunday night. Be a hell of a. She puts on a hell of a show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will be fun. Hey, Monday, the UIL State Marching Band Competition, the 5A prelims Monday, and Brett Graham is at Green Hall.
Yeah, the 1A to 5A at the Alamo Dome on Tuesday for that marching band competition. I don't know
Fun
when the
stuff.
6As get going, but yeah. What's on Tap brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint online at samsburgerjoint.com.
Grilling with the Blitz, presented by Tri-County Meat Market.
And we tell you all the time, you know you're grilling, you know you're taking pictures of that great meat on your grill and putting it on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and MySpace and everything else. Make sure you upload those photos to the Grilling with the Blitz page at sasportstar.com because you could win a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market because we love to judge meat.
We do, and we judged some good meat today. A couple of ribeyes and
twice baked potatoes.
Yes.
Looks like this guy, John, went straight into Tri-County last weekend because those ribeyes were on special, and he got the twice baked potatoes that they also sell there. That looks almost just like my dinner on Monday night.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I had that Sunday night prior to the Cowboys debacle.
Yeah.
Sunday night.
Congratulations, John. You get a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. And again, if you're grilling this weekend, upload those photos. sasportstar.com, the Grilling with the Blitz page. That'll do it for us.
Yeah.
I guess Prime Picks, Texans, Jets, since we do that on Friday, going out. Who do you got tonight?
I got the Jets tonight.
I'm taking the Texans. Pledge?
He's got to go with
I'm
it.
going to go Texans.
Shocker.
Of course. Yeah.
Shocker. Extra innings with Pledge coming up next. You got Texans and Jets later on here on 94.1, brought to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
You're listening to The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, an